Hello and welcome in once again. It is your Dungeon Master, Hark the Umpire, here coming at you with another pre-episode info blurbature for your earhole pleasure. Last episode, the players faced death and in it awoken to find out their reality wasn't exactly what they thought it was. Ejected from some sort of suspended animation inside mechanical looking pods, they were happy to not be dead and instead reunited with one another. Exploring the new structures they awakened in, they recognized gems embedded into the pods, seemingly controlling them and imbuing them with arcane energies. Continuing along in the only apparent path, they revealed their location to be a floating chunk of mostly destroyed buildings and rubble, stagnantly hanging on to an incredible length of ginormous chain attached to a mostly destroyed Hitra-E. Finding their way along a bridge, they noticed what seemed like fleshy webbing strung up along the chunk and amassing into what ultimately referred to itself as Marslephanis. A self-titled cosmic being, or space mimic, I think we referred to it as a few times, Marsley tried to share some info with the group, as well as some special boons that he had been storing for them. Without a choice, the characters were partially mutilated and given replica, symbiotic replacement parts for the removed parts from the giant mass of writhing, fleshy web and tendrils, going by Marslephanis. Going further along the space debris floating craziness, they encountered the leader or controller of the rock, dubbed Narwhal. Although suspicious of this character, the party was receptive to his hostings and offerings of knowledge as well as further purpose and reasoning as to why they were where they are now. We ended the session as the players descended the stairs from Narwhal's tower and planned to investigate others who were noted to be held by the mysterious wizard and perhaps find further info on the critical hole.
And we're in. Go ahead, Hark.
Okay. Welcome in, gamers, to another exciting episode of The Critical Hole, featuring the Gamer Hole. They're here.
A lot of holes.
A lot of holes, a lot of guys. Let's get into the episode by starting out with what happened last episode. Whew, what a doozy. Assuming technically everything is fine, what happened was you all woke up from your pods. Not an unfamiliar awakening, given your past. In a new environment, though, unlike the last one you awoke in. Upon exploring, revealed to be a tremendous sight, floating in space on a mound of broken rubble and rock, seemingly controlled by a wizard going by the name of Narwhal, who has taken allegiance with a cosmic mimic of sorts. Together they're keeping this dissection of stone in place, chained to the planet that lies broken apart, Hitra-E. Your planet, as far as you're concerned, as far as you can remember, I guess. You guess.
Supposedly.
Supposedly, theoretically. Having spent a night here, nothing terrible has happened aside from maybe a few bad dreams for two of you. You could count the boons that Marslephanis gave you, good or bad. I'll let you be the decider of that one. But you've descended the stairs from Narwhal's tower and are faced with a fork. Two stairwells leading down deeper into the dissection, and one leading back to the pod room where you told Narwhal you would meet him as he would prepare them for your next excursion to Hitra-E, the past of Hitra-E, to uncover one of her pentagonal G-shaped crystals. That's 5, right?
Yes.
And
so. Close enough.
And to doing so, save her, as what the information he gave you, at least.
We are tasked to save the world.
The grandest of all.
And I feel bad for the
world. grandeurs. Yes, well, that's what Narwhal told you at least. Chodius was a little on the fence.
We should kill Narwhal.
Raximus surprisingly trusting for someone he just met.
It's not trust. It's the fact that I don't think we could defeat him, and I just play along until we can.
He answers in his own ruminations in his head. But the one thing that stands out to all of you more than anything else here on Narwhal's dissection is the air is stale. The temperature is cold. Not cold in a good way either, Chodius. Not like the dwarven under the mountain cold. It's not the fun cold.
He hates the cold.
It's not a good place to be. It's the taste, everything is off. It's like artificial air all around you. The rocks of the broken planet drift, or do they? In the distance. The game is yours.
Let's go see those prisoners.
Are we? We're gonna talk to the prisoners first. Okay, no attacking, boys.
Kill the
All right,
prisoners.
we go downstairs. We go downstairs.
Love it.
Kill
love
the
it, love it.
prisoners.
Let's open it up. Let's see. So you're going that stairwell. Beautiful.
It goes down, correct?
It does. They both
Okay.
sort of go down. And when you get into the stairwell, the first thing you notice is that it's almost like the stairs are it's like a Frankenstein stairs. Seems like they're different. It's all of similar stone, but they're different textures, different designs. They seem to be like crammed together. And as you go down, a lot of the walls are just like packed rubble, almost like a sloppy concrete of other broken buildings that just have been messily assembled into this almost makeshift descent down. And as it gets darker and quiet, I'm looking for the next scene.
Do we see Marcephalus little bits and pieces? Like, are we, or does this look like a different magic that's holding it
He's
together?
in his
Great
own
question.
room.
Great question. I'm glad you inquired. On this side of Narwhal's bridge, you don't see a lot of Marslephanis's presence. And as you descend down this stairwell, you do not notice any of the ichor or the tendrils creeping or crawling their way around. Not like they were intermingled in the stone when you were on his own platform.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
Indeed, no problem. And I will activate the Underroom 1 for you guys to join in here.
Ooh.
Under room 1.
So you come down through an opening at the bottom of the stairwell. There weren't any branches off. There weren't any options to go another way. It just simply came to this opening. Let me know you can all see everything all right.
Mine's still loading.
Mine's loading as well.
No problem.
I'd be
I will
loading
explain
right
it
now.
briefly then. Loading moment. In front of you is a sort of a circular chamber with stairs on your left and your right leading down on a small balcony in front of you that drops down to the floor. Not too far. About 15, 20 feet of a descent of stairs.
Go ahead and
In the room, the one thing that stands out to you is there are 3 large crystals that are embedded in the walls, pointing towards the center of the room.
See,
Crystals.
I'm good now.
I
3 large
see.
crystals, large, deep red gems, have their sharpest point pointed at the center of the room.
And what
In
does
the
it
center of the
smell
room.
like in here?
All the air here is very stale. Same as upstairs. It hasn't changed at all. It's still, if you take a deep breath, you sort of exhale and you get like that nasty, foul, like if you've spent too long in a car for too long.
Like
Something
sharing
like
a room
that.
with Hexloom.
Yeah, that could be a good one as well. Or any
Just,
of
just for the record,
Game Level
Hexloom,
boys.
Hexloom smells the best out of all the people. He's
I
very
believe
like
that, in
shower.
fact.
He does smell
Yeah,
good.
he takes his time to make himself presentable every
And
morning.
he's not living in the closet behind
Yeah.
Aqua. Indeed.
But anyways,
Yeah, back to this closet that you've all entered in. It's not really a closet because it's a large circular chamber. And in the center of this chamber, where all the gems seem to be pointing, is a large circle surrounded with white paint. You guys can walk around the room.
Where are the prisoners? Where are they?
Gert, I think it's a prisoner.
We're in a
Chodius,
prison.
go stand in the center where all
I'm
the
not staying
crystals
there.
are pointing.
Who's
Everything
here?
tells me I'm running into a visible wall.
We have to walk left and right.
Yeah, you gotta. There's a small balcony there on the stairs where you
Yeah.
walk, and
Chodius,
as you
I think-
approach these, as you approach and you get closer, if you try to walk past the white line, you are met with an invisible force. This dome sort of ripples and sparkles if you were to bump into it, which it looked like a few of you tried to. And in the center, now that you can see, as the shimmering is actually the stonework, the ground in the center is clean, clear. And on the very outside of the stonework is sort of like a grate built into the ground, a metal grate. Has 4 arrows, as you can see on the map, pointing forward. And there's a singular shredded tiny square of carpet in the center. And as you guys are all
I see a
staring
little
here,
face in there.
if you pay close enough attention through the shimmering, some of a movement begins to make itself clear as the beast appears, sitting on top of the carpet,
It's a beast.
clearing the carpet away.
I hate beast.
Hey, what's going on?
Good morning, friend.
We're here to kill you.
Oh my god!
All right, get it over with.
Who are you?
Who am I? Who are you?
I'm Gabo.
No, you're not.
You're right. He's not.
I'm not. How do you know that?
I know lots of things.
We're
For I
members
am
of a-
Frazz Erpler.
Excuse you.
Thank
Hey,
you.
Frazz. What do you do around here, Frazz?
I like you.
I sit here.
What else do you do, Frazz?
Like, what do you mean?
What are you doing
Frazz.
on Friday night? You go out?
Is it Friday? I don't know what that is.
Frazz, what are your duties here?
I love you.
I've been imprisoned by Narwhal here.
Why?
See, I knew Narwhal was up to no good. I've been telling them, but they all want to go do Narwhal's biddings. Frazz, me and you, we understand.
You just wanted to kill him a second ago.
Frazz, this guy wanted to kill you.
everything.
Because I don't trust anybody related to Narwhal, but clearly Frazz is against him, right, Frazz?
Well,
Unless he's lying.
we had originally made a pact.
And he betrayed you.
And as he's talking, you can see his neck and his head are sort of moving along. He's got this really long neck, and it stretches with his sort of greenish, almost yellowish looking flesh.
Damn,
in
boy,
an
you got
eerie
that
way.
neck.
And the way he's sitting is sort of crumpled in this tight magical dome. He is definitely having trouble extending himself, and he keeps hitting the top of it, and it's going.
He wants to be freed.
We originally had an arrangement, a pact, if you will.
I
Go
cast
on.
Zone of
Hour.
Truth.
Do you use the spell slot for it?
Yes. I
Okay,
cast
no
Zone
problem.
of Truth.
mark
How
it
big's
off.
the zone?
15-foot
to
radius
fit this-
sphere. It
Is
it
there
fits the beast.
Yeah, you can target it on him. It's okay.
Oh, okay.
15-foot radius sphere.
I was more curious if we were in the zone of truth,
Ah,
but
No, you're
curious
not.
question indeed.
You're not in the zone of truth.
So it looks like you can position it so that he couldn't
I
squeeze
positioned
out of it.
Can you see where I
he would
positioned
be-
it?
I can, yes. Well positioned.
Very good.
Did that work?
I think there is a saving throw he must make until the spell ends. A creature that enters the spells the first time must make a charisma saving throw. On a failed saving throw, an affected creature as well. You know whether the creature is as well. So it doesn't say. Interesting.
I love how that thing looks and how normal the voice is. It's like the Goblin King from The Hobbit, but like funny and not awful.
Yeah, he's just a demon, hanging out.
Hey, what's up? I like
He does have a very human-like appearance. You can see there's sort of like really long-grown ears and a very his nose sort of looks like it came out of his brow, like it skipped the bridge and just went right to the pointy part.
I see that.
Of
He's
course.
got the really long under part of his nose. The more you stare at it, the more uncanny it looks, and it sort of gives you a creepy feeling.
It looks like a goblin.
I think I have to make a saving throw, but I'm unsure because it looks like it doesn't on a failed save. I mean, hey, let's just make the save. So he's gonna make this charisma saving throw with advantage. Okay, I think he failed. I think he passed. But how long does this last for? I'm in your spellbook right now. I'm looking at it with my eyeballs. 10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess just 10 minutes, but it doesn't matter because he passed the.
Yeah.
Here's what we'll do. I'll do a few of them. Because 10 minutes is a while.
It's fine. It's whatever. I don't think this guy was lying anyways.
Do we get like 3 questions and 2 of them?
It looks like one of those wouldn't have passed. So we'll just say you cast it, and we'll say you have a moment to sort of a round of questioning where the spell is affecting him, and you know that he got hit by the spell because he casts you sort of not an angry look, but a furrowed brow, his big ugly skin brow.
When's my birthday, Frazz?
Looks. He looks at you. Your birthday? Why, you were just born yesterday.
Liar! He's lying!
We sort of were. Wait.
Birth is a relative term.
Frazz, do you want us to free you?
I would love nothing more, small dragon kobold.
But tell us about
Narwhal-
Marcephinus, Frad.
Marcephinus, you mean? Oh, a foe, a fiend, unlike any I've seen.
Nice rhyme,
What
Frazz.
about the Narwhal?
Narwhal is his name, and magic was his game.
Why not now?
Well, it still is, but it just rhymed.
Okay, Frazz, we're gonna have to level with each other here.
I
Brute
would
versus
like nothing
brute.
more to level with all of you and be freed from this hell and go back.
You
to
said
hell.
you were in a deal with Narwhal.
That is
What
how
went
I
south?
came to be.
Why did he imprison you? What was the deal? What was your mission?
As many demons, we offer power to those who seek it. Simple terms or more complicated ones.
He's a demon.
But Narwhal tricked me. Now I'm here.
I see. I knew it. What was your mission? What was the deal that you had? How did he trick you?
Endless souls.
He was going to
Infinity
give you
debts.
endless souls?
Yes.
The souls of everyone on Hitrai?
I don't care where they came from.
I'll give you the kobold soul in return for your service.
One soul?
It's a very well-spoken, handsome soul.
I will accept favor if you give me all of the boons that Marslephinus gave you.
It's a deal.
No, not a deal.
Speak first.
No, it is
Not even
absolutely
close.
not
What
a
do you
deal.
want to know?
Guys, no, can I telepathically speak to my teammates really
No.
quick?
No.
Because I can do that. I have psionic telepathy.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah, definitely.
I guess you can.
You have
Oh
that.
my god.
I
Okay, I
can.
guess you can.
He's
Grilla,
trapped
you realize
in
he's
the
a
bubble.
demon.
Let's fucking trick him again. He's
can do that
gullible
too.
as hell. Get the information and then don't give him the stuff. What's wrong with you guys? No, I don't want to make that. Come on. Just lie to the fuck. He's an idiot.
How are we
Right,
going
not
to get
my
anything from him? He's stuck in a bubble.
Information. Exactly. He can't get our boons either. So let's just lie to him. He's a chump.
Freeing me would be simple, if you pleased, as you guys all stand here in silence for a moment.
Yeah, how
We
would
can
we
get
go
the
about freeing
information
you,
and
Frazz?
then know if we want to freedom.
You simply have to pull the levers on the walls. As you look around, next to each red crystal, there is a sort of like a weird mechanism that is set up adjacent to each one.
I think
How do we
Narwhal
know?
would be pretty upset if we did that, Frazz.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Narwhal would be upset, and I would kill Narwhal. I would deal with him.
Why? How do we know you wouldn't kill us, though?
Ah, well, we would go into a pact, an agreement, one I would be honored bound to.
How'd your last pact go?
I'm still bound to it, but once
Oh.
I have the power to reprimand.
Are you evil?
Define
demon.
evil. I
Doesn't
am a
mean he's evil.
demon. I come from hell.
Frazz, would
I
you like
acquire
to
souls?
enter into some sort of contract for my soul and for some sort of power?
No. I will accept your boons and nothing more.
How about infinite souls,
Deal.
Frazz? What if I provide you with infinite souls?
Infinite souls, eh? And he scooches forward to the bubble when you say that, and he just kind of like presses his face up against it, and it's like this is like the magical bubble as he gets closer. And he like it's like his face is flat, and it's like his skin is like green and almost translucent, and you look at the veins under it, and they're moving, and they're not veins, they're little worms as they scurry along his skin. I don't think you can get me infinite souls, little one.
Why not? Narwhal is my friend. He does what I ask him to.
Narwhal's a goddamn bitch, and we should kill him.
Yeah, we were
I
gonna
will
kill
kill
Narwhal
him.
and take all his souls, actually.
You cannot kill him.
All right. Well, you're
Can
trapped
you?
in a stupid bubble
I
boy.
will. I will kill him.
Oh, you
I
like
am only
that.
held here by his power, by his tricks, by the other ones here. We serve in perpetual torment, but provide perpetual energy to keep his magic.
a
His
doom scenario.
experiments.
I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to ask Narwhal about this freak in the basement.
Narwhal's at the pods.
He's at the pods.
Yeah, you have to cross the really long bridge, and it does take
Hey,
a little bit of
Frazz,
time
we're
to
just
go
gonna
back and forth.
go-
You're free to head out there if you want.
We're just gonna go talk to Narwhal real quick about this scenario.
Hey.
Okay.
Hey, Frazz, quick question.
Narwhal will tell you that I am not to be trusted, and that I am here for his power and harnessing only, and that is true.
Yeah.
So he would
Raz-
tell us lies, but that's true. What are you getting at, Frazz?
If you guys want to see if you think he's lying, you're more than welcome to make an insight check.
He's telling the truth. But Raz, I was told, wasn't there two people down here? Am I wrong?
Yes. No.
Where's the other person that's supposed to be down here?
The other stairwell.
Hey, let's go.
Okay,
Another
Frazz.
stairwell.
There was another one at the top.
Frazz.
There was one that went up,
Frazz.
one that went down,
See you later.
two that went down.
Frazz. See you later. Shut up.
Not that I would
Shut up.
really know the exact architecture of this place, but it's been some time.
Hey, Frazz,
Walk
shut
out of the room.
shut
He
the fuck up.
continues to talk.
All right.
Frazz, I'm gonna be nice to you, but I can't let you go. I'm
Hey,
sorry.
fuck you,
So if you get out of
Frazz.
here, don't kill me. Thanks.
Bring me your boons.
Shut
Shut
the fuck up.
I also
See ya. God, that guy's the worst.
This guy's a fucking idiot.
That guy sucks.
That guy sucks.
I'm not
liked him
even
at
sure I
first.
want to unleash a demon.
It's a demon. Why would you want to unleash it?
I feel like he's trying to sell me a fake Rolex the whole time.
Yeah.
You guys, should load in automatically. There you
Wait,
go.
so where are we?
This is Narwhal's balcony.
Where's the other
Okay, but,
stairwell?
like, where's the other stairwell?
To the on the east side of this, there are two stairwells. There's one that goes down, one that goes up. Sorry, I know it's not exactly
Weird architecture.
yeah, it is weird
So you're saying like
architecture.
where we went
Yes.
up to see
There's also
Narwhal,
one that
there
went
was a
down.
right. We want to go
Yes.
down this time. We want to
No
find this person.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I will unlock the next one.
Don't believe anything they say.
This one is different. As you walk down here, you do start to see tendrils
Ooh.
of fleshy Marslephinus, whatever he might be,
Hey, it's our
start
boy.
to appear, blended in with the walls, mimicking the stonework in places. And it gets thicker as you get closer to this next place. Let me get your tokens in here. All right, it's under room 2. You got it.
I see it. Yes.
Much smaller room.
Yes.
Do we walk forward?
You guys move through the doorway there. No problem.
Yep.
You did. Go ahead. No problem. Keep going.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Through
Let's
the
hold on
doorway.
there. There should have been walls there. I don't know how you got so close. My God. As you approach, first the room is covered in the same material that you see, but amongst it is this dark soot-looking dirt ground that has different sort of flora growing out of it, various mushroom-esque looking spores growing, some sort of thick, leathery looking fern plants. The ground you walk on here, slightly elevated from the rest of the room, has these long columns or pipes that lead up and into the ceiling work as the room opens up above you 60, 70 feet in sort of a sphere. In front of you, starting in the center of the room and going up to the roof, is a large hollowed out tree trunk that when you tried to walk through the entry, you would have been met with a similar sensation as the invisible dome would appear in front of you, in this sort of, as you step on a little bit of the stonework there in front of the tree. And I'll unpause it again. Inside is this large
No, don't go in there. Don't go in there.
mass of mushrooms and spores that are like breaking and giving off this gaseous, like porous, yellowish dust. And atop of this mound of mycology sits a feminine form. The tendrils of this mass creep up the front of her, covering her and into her hair, forming this mass. And she sort of twists and looks at you. And as she does, sort of slurps around. And she's looking at you now as you approach.
Damn, bitch, you live like this? All right,
Hello?
I've seen enough.
Wait.
Allow me, gentlemen.
Yes, go ahead.
Please.
Chodius approaches her and does a very, very polite bow. So such as a, and then I act like I'm tipping my hat, even though I don't have one. And I say, "Milady of the tree, we come seeking information on Narwhal. Yeah.
She opens her mouth, and a similar set of spores and dust come out of it,
Ugh.
similar to the ones that are crackling around her.
Go
And she
ahead.
sort of lifts up her arms, and there's sort of like this weird fungal webbing attaching her elbows to her body that's like snaps and breaks as she moves her hands. She brings up her hands to like almost flip her hair, but instead she just breaks off a huge piece of the mushrooms that end up just like bleeding this purple goop all over her back.
No.
I think we should get the fuck out of here, guys. I'm gonna
Yes.
be honest.
Has Narwhal the wizard imprisoned you here?
Yes.
As I suspected.
I'm
And the mound
leaving.
like
I'm leaving.
gets kind of closer to the thing.
I'm leaving.
I get closer to her.
I'm gonna go wait by the door. Actually, I'm gonna step out the room and wait in the hallway.
No problem.
Can't hear anything. Guys, I'll wait for you in the hall, and I just wander out.
Yes, Narwhal has kept me here.
Are you a banshee?
No.
Are you evil?
Yes, we all are.
Hmm.
But Narwhal's evil as well. Yes. I knew it. How did he entrap you here, mistress of the spores? He exploited my weakness.
What's your weakness? What, you don't want someone else to exploit it anymore?
Ah, yes.
Right.
Can you tell us what your agreement was with Narwhal when he exploited it?
Energy.
Is that a chest?
Energy.
Looking inside her room, a small curtain obscures a lot of it, but looking around, it's not hard as it's very tattered. A table made of very suspicious looking material and a very fine oak wooden chair sits there. And if you look around, a small pile of bones picked clean
Bones?
sits next to a tanning table. a
I
tanning
just
booth.
remembered Gert owes me $5. I'll see you guys later. And then I also leave the room.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah, I'm just
Did
kicking
you
it. I'm
eat
kicking it
those
in the hallway.
bones?
What did you say?
Did you eat these people? Of these bones?
No, not me.
Are these chicken bones?
No.
Are they human bones?
Various kinds of sentient beings, yeah.
And you didn't eat them or kill them?
I made this table.
It's made of bones.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to leave
And
now.
flesh. See you.
Bye.
And Lady of the Fungal Spores.
Yeah.
Do you know of the demon Frazz?
Yes.
Is he to be trusted?
No.
Are you to be trusted?
Yes. Of course.
Should we free you right now?
I don't know how you could, but yes.
What is your entrapment? Who is keeping you here?
I'm
Magic?
trapped here for energy. And all around you, the fungal pieces, mycology and plants, they sort of like pulse. And as they do, the columns that are in the ground around you start to like vibrate and rumble as all of the bits of Marsleffinus that are also entangled in this room amongst the fungal get really tense and almost like flex on everything, almost like it's holding the plant work back.
And what of Marsleffinus, the goo man? We keep each other alive. Oh. Mutual self-destruction should we disengage.
So you could kill Marcelinus
If we killed you.
That might work. How can you get to me, though?
Well, I wasn't looking to kill you. You seem like a very nice fungal lady. Do you mind if I step inside your tree?
You cannot. It isn't me keeping me here. The
Is it
magic.
Narwhal?
Yeah.
And if we were going to free you, would you like to be freed, or will the mutual destruction prevent you from desiring such a thing? Or do you wish the release of death?
I seek to return to my plane and return to my babies. And as she does say that, all the room again, like, kind of pulses again. All the columns start to rattle. And again, the bits of Marcelinus pull tightly against all the fern and flora.
Hey, should somebody go in there and check on him? He's been in there a while.
Well, if we are going to free you, what exactly would we do?
I think he's hitting on her or something.
Yeah, we're giving him privacy.
Either destroy the dissection entirely, or kill Marcelinus, or kill Narwhal, but many have failed to do that. And she kind of looks over at the pile and she says that.
Why is everyone? Oh, sorry, I'm not even in the room. Excuse me.
The demon wished us to free him so he could kill Narwhal. Does he have that power?
Yes, he is a powerful one. Me, I'm not in my element. And the room again does the shaking and rattling. And you looking closer, it seems like she's sitting again on this massive, like gross, squishy plant life, and it looks like it seeps into the ground beneath her, and almost, you get the idea that it might even be creeping into the ground under her as you sort of look at your feet, and the ground that you're stepping on is sort of this like wet, muddy, swampy dirt.
Do you have anything that you could perhaps provide us on our adventures to take care of Narwhal?
Nothing.
Who are these skeletons of those trying to kill Narwhal?
Those are the failed ones.
Do you know who they are, where they came from?
No. But I killed them.
You killed them.
Yes.
Not Narwhal.
No, he sent them to me to be taken care of.
All right, well, Lady of the Fungal Spores, it's been a pleasure. Perhaps we'll meet again soon under better conditions.
Kill Marcelinus, she says as you're departing.
Okay. All right.
Oh, hey guys, how'd it go? Chodius, did you seal the deal?
No, she didn't. She said she wanted me, but I was forbidden from entering her tree.
Oh my god!
She did really encourage me to.
If I had $1 for every time I heard that.
She encouraged me we should kill Marcelinus. How do you guys feel about that? I'm all in. I hate mimics.
I think you're being manipulated and gaslit by a boss, by a queen.
I think they all need to die.
I'm gonna say that this is.
I just want to go back to Hitchai.
Hitchai's destroyed.
Yeah, go back. I don't mean.
Yeah, we
Let's
get
go.
pods.
Let's go talk to Narwhal and ask him some questions. And then let's
Sure, we don't want to release that demon. What, can we at least undo one of those levers?
No. Look, I think it would be funny to go in there and gaslight the hell out of the demon by undoing one of the levers and being like, okay, we're going to free you, but then stop and be like, oh my God, we forgot something out in the hall, and then leave and just forget about him.
How would you feel if you were that demon?
horrible.
And if he does,
I mean, I think he feels pretty bad when we all
If he-
told him to shut up and walked out of the room.
if he does escape someday, you realize he's gonna kill us. So
We all did tell him to shut the fuck up. Maybe we just leave him down there.
For now. He kind of sucks. Anyway, that guy, he's totally cringe.
All right, we're going to the pod room.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah,
So you
we're
have
all
to
gonna
cross the
hold
really
hands
long
on the way
bridge.
there, so we don't get lost.
And you guys should be loading in now for you.
So
wait-
on our walk to the pod room, we all agree we
Yeah,
held
of course.
hands.
yeah, we
If
all
you guys
held
wanna-
hands.
and again, if you guys want to like say anything or do anything before you get here, you're more than welcome to.
So let's go. Let's all be on the same page when we bump back into Narwhal. How do we feel about this guy again? I mean, he never provided me with my naked kobold women, so kind of
Your
on the
memory
fence.
recounts that he said he would have it for you and that he was working on.
Yeah, he did say that, but I never got it. So
You've only been here literally one night.
he moves at he can slow time. It's been like a year for him.
Maybe you should ask him how long it would take him.
This fucking okay. I know what's on my mind coming into this room.
Kobold women.
Yeah. What else is new? All right, so you guys, a little bit of chatter as you walk. The similar cold and stale air is once again filling your lungs. No change from the musty cave you were just in. Weirdly enough, all the fungal business in that last room didn't really change the smell or the taste of the air around you. Still that really strong artificial like
Stink.
smell and flavor and stale. It's really stale is the best way to describe it. So you re-enter the pod room after descending the stairs. As you walk through the first view that you saw of the planet and of Narwhals, coming into the pod room, it opens itself up. You see in the distance, Narwhal is working on the different one of the pods in the room.
Hey, Narwhal!
Huh? Yes, hello. Welcome in.
Where's my woman?
What do you mean? How long has it been?
Well, it's been a day for us. It's been like a year for you, Narwhal. You move
Oh,
it.
it's been 1 year since I promised you that.
Yes, Narwhal. Where is
My
it?
God, I'm late. Well, you know, necromancy in the minimalist of terms takes about 24 hours.
Yeah, and it's,
I'll have to
I
go
mean,
see
it's been a year.
Zugamatov, and I'll have to probably get one of those corpses back from her, and then I'll have to, make one into a kobold woman, whatever the hell that looks like, and then she'll have to
Oh,
raise her from the
yeah.
dead.
Like
You didn't
me,
specify
but
it had to be living,
nicer.
Yeah, nicer. That won't be a challenge there.
Look,
Yeah,
Narwhal, when I
speaking
get out of
of-
this pod, I better have some kobold
Yes.
women. Okay.
Well, that all depends how long you spend in the pod, I suppose.
Narwhal, if I get out of this pod and there aren't any kobold women, I'm not saving Hitrai, okay?
Oh, all right.
All right. You want me to keep working for you, we have to come to an agreement.
I think that is a certainly fine agreement.
Yeah.
I have no quarrels morally or ethically against this.
I get
whatsoever.
a wife. You get
Undead.
me doing whatever you need me to do, okay? That's the obligation between you and me, Narwhal.
Whatever I need. Interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I think Chodius has some questions for you. I'm all wrapped. My little story arc is all wrapped up.
Excellent.
What would you require out of the kobold after you give him his woman, Narwhal? Perhaps.
I was seemingly trying to
Energy or
fit him in
power?
amongst you with mindless banter. It seems to get you guys going and off topic, which was actually my discretion.
Yes.
Speaking
have
of
questions-
Zendaya,
Yes.
we've
Zugamatov.
met her. Yeah,
Zugamatov. Yes.
Zugamatov. I've been to the spore woman. We've spoken
Oh.
with her.
Wonderful. How's she doing?
She did not speak highly of you, Narwhal.
As I would think she would. Both her and the other demon, mind you, they're both demons, but of different sorts. One's a fey demon, that's Zugamatov. The other one, Frazzlebean, or whatever his freaking name is. That one's the regular demon, straight out of the pits of hell. Ugh.
Why
Careful
are
with
you
that one.
keeping demons in the basement?
A wondrous question. I'm glad you're getting to it now, finally. As I'm sure I've told you this before, but not to you. This you is a different you. I'll tell you right now. The one demon, he gives me infinite magic possibilities. Boiling it down into more simpler terms, I can cast the wish spell pretty much any time I want. A tremendous power in my hands.
Then why don't you wish for a kobold woman for our friend Gert?
Well, I've already cast it today.
Well, why don't you cast another spell that makes it immediate?
Are you, the barbarian, going to instruct me, the wizard, on magic?
I'm asking questions on why you are so poor at performing your duties.
I did not realize that you had taken so long to get here. I had merely thought it was the span of several hours, in which I have not yet returned the power to cast Wish. 24 hours has not yet passed.
What does the lady do?
She fuels Marslephinus. She is able to produce these sort of living fungal spores, and Marslephinus feasts on that power, and that keeps him alive. And he holds up the dissection attached to the chain. Pretty much, he's the glue of all of this. You see the rocks smashed together in any weird way. It's really just him holding it together. And
So
the
he's
other
like a
demon,
parasite
he gives
on
me
her?
magic. Yes, precisely.
That's why.
And what happens if he
wanted to
doesn't
kill
get
him.
any more energy from
Well, he would probably
Zolimphinus?
break off and either die or scatter away into the cosmos from whence he came,
And
leaving
then
us to
what
fall.
happens to us? Yeah, we fall back
yes.
to Hitrae?
Probably. Or just float away endlessly in space. Well, you would. I would just, I'm magic. I would make certain haste and do something, probably. I'll think of it when it comes. Not that that's a very likely situation, though.
Are
what
you
happens
evil?
if we free the demon? Yeah, are you evil?
What do you mean by evil, exactly?
I don't know. You seem like
I do
You
practice
seem all
necromancy, and in several states, that would be considered illegal, which would some people define as evil. However, I seem to know you all have morally questionable pasts and actions as well.
I 100%
I
agree.
pose
you
the
have
question
sex
to
with
you.
dead body. Oh no, that's the other thing.
I will fetch you a book, sir, on the in and outs of the spells.
Pretty evil.
That is necrophilia, sir, not necromancy. Necromancy is what's
Right,
going to
right.
supply this kobold with his future wife. But as I've answered before, I'm happy to answer again any questions you have with the utmost honesty.
That's a
And see-
Zoolander moment.
My intentions are merely to uncover Hitrae's hidden past, realign her, and save her, and her dwellings, and her denizens.
Mr. Narwhal, how do
Yes.
these little stones work?
Which one?
The one that makes us do all this. I want
That would be that
I
one.
want to know
and
what
he
you're
points
playing.
to the big one in the room. That's the one that makes all of this essentially work.
What are these 5 stones on my other left hand on the rings? Do
I'm
these
imagining-
correspond to the stones on these machines?
I'm imagining you with your 2 left arms, with Grelin with 2 left arms, saying this in his goblin-y voice. Yeah.
What
Hilarious.
about my other arm?
It
I
looks
can't
so
do the
awkward.
voice that well.
It's okay,
I don't
it's
feel
okay.
like it.
Ah, yes. Marslephinus seems to have given you quite the humorous boon, if I will say so myself. But
I asked
Looks
for
like-
this.
these are rings of spell storing. So a magician such as myself, or Raximus, or even Gert, or perhaps Trodius, if he ever learns any magic other than swinging his axe, they could cast a spell into these rings. You have 5 of them here, it seems, and they will all hold one spell. So you would like to cast Fireball or something more useful? I could cast that spell into that ring, and that would give you 1 charge to cast with that spell specifically.
Can you give me a wish spell?
No, sir, I cannot, for I have not the power to cast it today again.
What about a
Can you give me-
necromancy spell? Can I bring someone back from the dead?
Who specifically would you like to bring back?
A hot kobold woman.
That Chodius ponders, thinking deeply for a moment.
And before you answer that, seeing you think for a minute, it does take some preparation and I will give you a deeper answer before you answer once more. To bring someone truly back from the dead without having ever met them or having any piece of them, it would take tremendous magic, the same magic I've dealt with making pacts with demons sort of tier. Now, if you have this person's dead corpse, then it's a little easier to bring them back. I could go find a corpse and I could bring it back. That would be easier as well. I could make a corpse, but that itself would take time.
What about
So-
the corpse of our friend, Big
What-
Bug?
Who?
Big Bug.
And sort of looks at Raximus. Is that a funny nickname for one of the green ones?
No. Big Bug is someone that near and dear
You
to
guys
our
talking
heart.
about Big Bug?
Yes, Big Bug.
You guys, wait.
I suppose if
What are you guys talking? You guys talking about Big Bug?
Okay, we need to get
Going
down
by
to the real information here, Narwhal.
Hey, Big Bug?
I know we're talking about Big Bug, but we need to step aside
Big
for
Bug?
a second. And I need to ask you.
I think it'd be really good if we brought Big Bug back.
I love Big Bug.
I could
yeah.
bring
Could
someone
we bring
back
Big
from the
Bug
void
back?
if they existed. I would need a very good description or drawing of them to be
I
able
could
to
do a drawing
recreate
of Big
their
Bug.
image.
I have
He's
an
doing an
important
impersonation
question.
of Big Bug.
Ah, yes. The full image will come together before our eyes in no time at all. I would perceive this as doable.
He is pivotal to our group chemistry, Narwhal. He
I
could really
You
be
understand.
wish
an
Hitra
asset.
to be saved. We
Yes.
need our fifth member,
Well,
Big Bug.
Yes, Grellin, I see you
jumping
raising
with
one of
his
your
hand up.
two left hands over there. Go ahead. Please interject anytime.
Did everyone we met in Itrai, are they a real person in this world too? Also plugged into.
they were the past.
No, they
No,
were.
I'm glad he's exploring the time. Listen, time
Yeah.
is subjective, like many things in life, and I will explain it to
Are
you
they
as such.
plugged into a machine as well somewhere in this world?
No, this now, Grellin, here and now. This is reality. This is the current time. This is where we live and breathe. Only us. Hitrai destroyed the greatest planet. Taken.
Why were we preserved?
Well, these machines allow us to tap into the past memories of those who walked among Hitrai's surface. Now, this crystal here, and he points to the large, big one, the big one that zapped you guys and gave you the marks above your chest last episode. This crystal here is from Hitrai. It was a part of the wreckage that broke off in the initial impact. We have it here harvested, using it to let us guide our path. So yes, the people you encounter are real people.
They were.
They were. At some
They're
point
all
in
dead
time.
now.
Correct. Actually, I have been doing some studying on the surface of the planet, and there's a small patch of possibly livable area, but I'm not sure, if there's any life there. But given the atmosphere and other magical and geography-esque studies, there is possibilities of life.
So let's get back
It
to
has
Big
been
Bug.
like 1,000
right.
years.
Now,
Yes, of course.
before
This
we get back to
crucial
Big Mug, I need to
shaman
know,
you've met in your journey sounds like an inspiry of
think
sorts.
Very
that this-
powerful man.
that this mushroom woman.
I see.
Do you think
Yes,
that this
Zugamatov.
mushroom woman would ever be
Zugamatov.
interested in the dwarf fellow here? I just want to know because he's saying that she's kind of hitting on him.
Dwarf flesh is of the most consistent in making furniture, and that is one of her favorite pastimes.
Of course. Okay.
Yes, of course.
Do you think of a romantic nature they would ever be?
Oh yes, she takes it very romantically. It would be of great passion to her to do such a thing. Indeed.
Narwhal, can you give me access to the spore woman? Or I would
Do you-
like to give her my love.
Mm.
Do you wish to be internally imprisoned, metaphysically in her goop?
No, I was just
And
hoping
effort-
for
and
a
tortured
temporary visit to maybe perhaps get to know her.
Maybe she'll turn you into a sex swing.
Feel free to visit any time. You
something.
can speak through the gorbly gop.
Yeah, but I want to be inside the gorbly gob.
She will tear the flesh from your living muscle and turn you into furniture.
You don't think that
But,
love can prevent that?
That is what she loves, good sir.
Maybe she'll turn you into a love seat.
I think you're
Okay.
looking at love too binarily.
Is
Okay.
is globally gloob?
Do not
What did you
kink
call
shame.
it? Is that the official term for it?
I like to call it the glorbity glop. Yes.
Glorbity glop. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, when you touch
That's
it,
what
it
I
goes
call it,
glop, glop,
too.
glop, glop, glop.
Okay, Narwhal, give us
Yes.
the details.
All
you want
right.
us to go back in time and save Hitrai, correct?
Well, what I've gathered, what these pods do, and I've only destroyed one pod while it's been used because I had to get a full reading on what was going on, really, to make sure I could understand it at the very least, to make sure it wasn't posing a threat to me, my existence here, my studies, you see. And I'll say this. They work in mysterious ways. The crystal, Hitrai's crystals, they guide you. They take you to places I'm not sure where. This technology, the pod technology, originated on Hitrai. It's not something I invented, yet something I've uncovered in research. Perhaps you've encountered it before. Maybe you have memories of it. Maybe you don't.
Can you see us when we're off doing things on Hitrai? Could you see us fight the Tesseract when I defeated it?
I would have to know exactly the time and the place to be able to scry specifically on you.
You don't need to look it up. We defeated all the Tesseracts easily.
Do you have any the Tesseract? Interesting. I've never heard of such a creature.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
I'll
called
have
a
to take my notes.
terrorist.
Do you know
Yeah.
which time period you're in? I could look and
No,
perhaps.
we're
A
good.
long
no need,
time
no need to
ago.
look it up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was the
Long
Gabo
time ago.
area.
Interesting.
Era.
Gabo area.
The
Interesting.
Gabo
Okay.
era. In the Gabo area.
He's like jotting
The
these things
Gabo
down in
era.
his little notepad. Okay, yes, very good, yes. And so what I do on my side essentially is these pods are connected ultimately to the larger crystal. They somehow breach her shell, and the shell lets it breach. It's sort of a mutual symbiotic relationship. Living crystal and all that. These smaller crystals here, I've imbued with magic, such as illusionary magic, one that modifies your memory. The pods themselves, once you are enclosed in, they, well, in lack of scientific terms, they sort of melt you down. You sort of get turned into the gloop.
That's
gloop,
the
gloopity
most
gloop.
scientific thing I've ever heard.
All right,
personally.
Narwhal, you
Yes.
sold me. Turn me into gloop.
You get turned into the gloop. You go
I
into the
want to be
pods,
gloop
and
again.
it's gloop, and it sort of reforms you
Mm-hmm.
over another person in the past. That's as far as I've been able to ascertain. Honestly, the research here it's sort of dreary. If you by chance find an opportunity to do more research on where these pods originally came from, that would be most valuable.
Narwhal, so we go into the pods, they guide us to where they guide us that you don't know, and what are we supposed to do?
Well, you must seek the other crystals. It seems that this one, being separated from the rest of them, is almost beckoning back to the other ones. So it's sort of a cycle. Well, it
And
will.
when we find them, what do we do?
Well, have you found one already?
I was dead, apparently. I've heard we did.
The two small ones mentioned something about finding a crystal. If you did, recounting what happened after you found it might be of some use.
What happened when you guys found that crystal?
I see your memories have grown old with time. No worries, that happens to all of us. I will prepare some spells to.
Are you asking
perhaps
us what happened when
restore-
we found the crystal?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. You were dead. I forgot. Oh, well, maybe if you didn't get yourself fucking killed, maybe you would have been able to see the cool ass crystals. They spoke to us.
They did. What did they say?
Something about how Grellin and I are like the chosen ones. How important we
It
are.
said that in a tongue you could understand.
Yes, in a tongue. I mean, Grellin couldn't understand it, but I could. Yeah.
Amazing.
You
Hold
did
on.
it.
And he squints his eyes at you very very insightfully.
Yeah.
And he, instead of the 7, is going to replace that with a 17.
He can do
And
that.
as he's looking at you, he can, yes. As he's looking at you, you sort of see his eyes like they start to speed up and they almost go into like a blur of motion.
Narwhal, what are you? Whoa. Okay, what are you doing there?
And then
What
he
are you
like
doing?
turns away from you, looks at the rest of you, and then looks back. But the blurred image of his eyes stay there, and they sort of like create like a spectral trail as he looks. And as he looks back at you, they're not blurred anymore. And he goes, No, I think you're lying.
You're right. I lied, Narwhal.
Yes.
I wanted to
I
see
don't
if you
like
really
it.
knew your crystals.
Yes, I've performed extensive studies on these crystals. I have little else to do in my downtime. I've been here for some time, and I've perfected the craft, if you will.
You passed my test, Narwhal. I was just making sure you knew what you were I mean, I don't want to take advice from a dumb idiot. So,
Well,
Let's go
given-
save Hitrai.
Yes.
And
Narwhal,
what do
my
we get,
companions
Narwhal,
are
if we
getting-
complete your quest?
antsy.
Well, what do you mean? Complete? You mean find all of Hitrai's
And
lost
save the
crystals?
world.
Well, I suppose we could figure out some sort of return. I could bring you with me when we ultimately go back to use the crystals to stop the oncoming planet, right? That's what happened, you know? The planet hit Hitrai and then she exploded. So we're going to
Yeah,
use the crystals to stop that from
How
happening.
about this? I have a proposal, Narwhal.
All right, I'm listening.
We go to Hitrai. We do all the tasks. We find the crystals. We bring them, or do as they bid.
They're pretty big, man. I don't know if we're bringing them anywhere. That was like massive.
The world goes back in time, is saved from the asteroid, and you kill yourself.
My God. That's quite a proposal, sir.
Are you not willing to sacrifice yourself for the better of Hitrai, Narwhal?
I'll tell you this. Should we gather all of the crystals Hitrai has to offer, their locations in time and in space, if a sacrifice needs to be made, I will certainly step up to the plate. And you can make an insight check to see if he's lying or not.
Yes. Let me make an insight check. I trust him.
It's hard to tell. It's just not that you it's not that you trust him or not. It's just that you're not able to read him at all. So it's up to you to ultimately decide if you trust what he's saying.
I want to make an insight
That's
check
fine.
based on that conversation that I overheard.
You guys are all here in the conversation. Feel free to also insight.
Not me. I've
check.
run into the corner and dove into a pod during this.
Do I think he's lying?
You get the sense that he is definitely speaking the truth when it comes to searching for the crystals, finding the crystals, using them to save Hitrai. You get the sense that he's definitely speaking around certain things
I think he's
and
telling
possibly
the truth,
leaving some things out purposefully.
but I
because
is
there
up
are
to
certain
something.
Well,
That's lying.
this is a shit situation, but I guess we got nothing else to do. Let's pot up.
Yes, and might I add that once you are in your destination of choosing, please try to refrain from dying. Because if you die in your metaphysical form, you could suffer cosmic madness upon your return here, which can lead to certain hallucinations and other strange phenomena while you're sleeping or awake. Sometimes it becomes hard to tell.
Oh,
Have
I've
anyone
already
experienced
died.
anything like that?
Do I have the madness?
Are you saying you perished in your last encounter?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I killed two of the
interesting,
Tesseracts,
wonderful.
and then I was eaten by the third because my
Tesseract, yes,
friends ran
interesting,
away.
Oh, wow. A horrible end for you, Chodius. Such a great brave warrior to go down fighting, though glorious in combat, naturally.
he
I
dove
should
into a
look this
baby
event up.
Tesseract's mouth.
Oh, God. He echoes from inside the pod.
I don't think he killed two of them either. I don't recall this happening.
didn't kill any of them.
Well, you do know the percent. If you do die in the other plane before ultimately finding contact with the crystals, I do think that it could cause some sort of disconnection with your actual real form, so do tread carefully. But once you find the next crystal, it should provide a sort of arcane benchmark for this crystal to reach out and then retether you back to me here. That's the
How
only
many
trigger I can
crystals?
think of. Sorry?
How many crystals are we looking for again?
To my knowledge, aside from this one, there are 6. I mean, aside from this one, there are 5, 6 total.
Can
We
we
need to
just
find
go
5.
in the pods, go back to the world, and then just like I get a job at a general store, maybe start a farm, and we just live our lives and not look for the crystals?
Thanks to you guys coming here recently, I checked my calendar for the first time seemingly in 1,000 years. I have no idea how long it is you've been in these ponds before now. I have no idea how long it will be until you come out of them again. Time
So
is
yes.
subjective. So yes,
Okay.
Jonas. You wish to
Okay,
live your
well-
life in the memories of the past? I see it as no different than living a normal life.
Cody is blue pill.
Perks.
True. It is definitely like a blue-pilled situation, yeah. I would say. pretty astute comparison. As the
All right.
stale
It's not
air
a political
refreshes
thing,
you.
by the way, you little freaks in the comments.
Who's freaking?
Saying.
No one.
It's a Matrix reference.
Yeah.
And also, it's
Anyway.
based.
Yeah.
So you hop in the pod.
Let's not get into an argument.
Is there any
Leave,
liquid in the
like-
pod? Does it like squish when I get in?
No goop, no remaining goop.
Damn
No,
it.
nothing there right now. At the
Not
very
even a
end of the pod,
dribble?
though, there is like a grate where it like drops down into the the stonework that it's the
The
pod is
goop
sitting on.
reservoir.
The goop reservoir. You don't know if it comes out or goes in. But yeah, so Chodius has stepped in. Narwhal's going to make his way over to the other ponds. As he finishes doing a few.
It comes out of that
Oh
grate.
wow! Which is it comes out. Yeah, well, stuff definitely comes out. Yeah, you get the idea from the way the erosion of the grate has been designed, and there's certain parts of it are like less worn than others. Oh yeah,
I'm
definitely
the
comes
DM
out.
now with that role. I get to.
I know everything. He does a
is
few more
my
arcane
world.
spells around the ones you have here, and steps back, watches you guys climb in. Would you guys? I hope you have a wonderful trip. Was there anything else you wanted to say? Oh, like I said, try not to die because I won't be able to. I might not be able to send you back to the same place.
companion better be here when I get back.
And I'd like
Yes.
I'd like
You see.
I'd like a burger when I get back too. A
What's that?
giant cheeseburger.
What is that
What's a
cheeseburger?
burger?
Weird
This is
time
sort
to be
of
explaining what a
locks it
cheeseburger
in.
is.
Well, okay, hold on. Let me get out of the pod real
Mating
quick. I feel like this
ritual?
is something I should explain to you.
Yes. Come closer.
I want
Very
more
good. Hello.
food.
Like one glizzy.
Lots of food when I get back.
Are you hungry now?
Actually, while we're at
No.
it,
Oh, okay.
I get back in two.
I climb out of my pod. wait,
Yes. Hello, Gretchen.
wait.
What's
I want to.
happening?
I need a burger too on my return.
What
as
are
well.
these burgers?
If he gets one, I get one too. Okay, and
Don't
it better
get
be
it.
here,
Is
Narwhal,
that another?
when I get
Should I
back.
put it with your woman? All right. Good luck.
I hope he spends days scouring the ancient scrolls for what a burger is.
He steps into the center of the room. All the pod doors are still open at this point. He lifts his hands into the air, and he starts to move his hands in an arcane way. If you were to look out of the pod, you would see this happening. If not, you wouldn't see this happen.
My eyes are closed.
What quite is an arcane way?
So, like, he's moving his fingers, like making symbols in the air, tracing the air with his fingers. Yeah, sort of like Naruto, but not as like not as on one hand as well.
Like a
And as you're-
Marvel
if-
fan.
Yeah, if you're watching this, you start to see his hands almost like become blurred, and there's like 2 sets of his hands, and there's like 3 sets of his hands, and then there's like 2 of his bodies, almost like he's moving so fast that you can't see him. And then the crystal in the center starts to hum and vibrate and get brighter, and the electricity starts to erupt in the cloudy shininess of the gem. And then the doors on your pods start to. as a sealed air seals goes around them and is now dark and quiet, and all you can hear is the faint rumbling of the crystal in the distance. Everything is black for you guys. Then you start to feel liquid creep up from the top of the pod, slowly making your back wet as it sneaks up the sides of your body. It's more viscous than water, and as it reaches your stomach, it doesn't continue to pool, it creeps over your flesh until it's covering all of you. And then an intense burning sensation mixed with the feeling of being crushed, but then the feeling of your bones crushing disappears as a familiar stretching sensation occurs.
There it is. That
Burning,
stretch.
and the stretching continues for an indiscernible amount of time. You become accustomed to the pain almost as quickly as you forget how long it's been that you've been feeling it. The stretching sensation, hard to describe. Yeah, you don't have a center of being. It's the same. It's from earlier episodes. It's like you go to move. You think of the sensation of moving, but there's no actual movement. It perplexes you that you have thought without a physical being. It's a separation of the physical and the metaphysical, and combined with any sensation you search for is replaced with a stretching sensation. And finally, the stretching sensation at one point begins to revert itself, and as it does, the burning sensation returns intensely. It feels like your bones are being pushed back into your skin without your skin being, torn open, just being forced through the flesh, through the muscle till they pop back in place, snap into where they're supposed to be. You feel your spine one by one click into place as your neck stiffens up straight. You open your eyes and you're hit with brightness and warmth. You inhale. The air is clean and fresh. You can feel the intense sun shining on your body as the parts that are exposed from your leather adorned armor greedily accept this change of temperature. Beneath your feet, you step is sand and dirt and stone. Around you are carved walls that lead up to built stone walls that lead up to a wooden spiked palisade where barbed roots align the top of a wall where it seemingly is quiet. Higher up are these red tents, and all around you in a circle are these huge tusks that are seemingly jutting out of the ground. In front of you, about 35 feet, is a lone standing, pretty large boar. And I will reveal the map for you now.
Oh, wow.
Join the arena, my friends. So again, these tusks that are jutting out of the ground here, in between each one are these walls that are these carved away stone walls. On top of them are like manufactured brick walls. On top of that are spiked wooden palisades. So it's a pretty high wall, about 40 to 60 feet up. And on top of that, there's even these barbed roots that circle the entire thing. You look up and you can see the bleachers. They're seemingly empty. Every once in a while, you see a glimmer of movement, and you hear a muffled roar of noise as a glimmer of space moves around. The sun, though, shines brightly on you, and it is a wondrous change of pace from the stale, cold air of Narwhal's arena. And just as suddenly as you realize you are in these new bodies, you are remembered by the part of you that Marslephinus took is not present. And you're reminded of this because it immediately starts to regrow. Chodius, your arm spits out tendrils of flesh and forms itself. Gert, your tongue, you belch out blood as it regrows itself, long and hideous, and then sucks back in normal. Grelin, one of your arms gets sucked in from one side and comes out the other, wearing all of your rings.
No!
Oh, so you have 2
Damn
left
it.
arms. No, you're good. You have 2 left arms. Exactly
do?
how you were in
Okay,
Yeah, exactly
fuck.
what you asked for. You originally had normal arms. The right arm got sucked into your body, came out the left with the rings.
Oh, okay,
And
got it.
Rasmus, you feel your hat merge with your flesh as the top of your scalp burns away and tendrils pierce into your brain, and you become one with your items in this new realm. The boar has noticed you, and it sees you here, and it kind of stamps the ground in front of you, 35 feet away.
How big's the boar?
Fairly large. It's a large boar for boars go. You're in this sort of arena setting, one would say, as you look ahead of you, and you do see another gateway. As you turn around, look from where you came from, a dark hallway. It's behind you, and as you're looking, the gate there falls and hits the ground and clatters, sealing you in.
What the fuck? Why'd he send us? Well, this asshole sent us in the middle of an arena?
He doesn't know where we go.
I'm going to step forward.
I think he knows
How many steps?
exactly where we went.
I'm going to take out my axe arm and my other arms, basking in the sunlight. Well, I think we know what we...
Grows into your hand, snaps into your hand instantly as you summon it.
Well, I think we know what we gotta do! We gotta put on a show!
We have to train the beast. Wait. We can train it.
Go ahead and try. I'm gonna step aside and let Gert try and train the beast.
I will also step aside.
You
And
guys
let
step
Gert
aside,
do
and
his
as you're
thing.
moving, the boar is sort of stamping, kicking up dirt, sort of like bobbing its head up and down, sort of snorting a bunch where it stands, not moving yet. You look up into the seeming like the stone seating that you can just catch the glimpse of the top of. You look hard enough, angled at the top of where you're at. And again, it seems empty, but every once in a while you see that little glimmer of movement, seemingly behind a clear sheet, almost as if, and then a bunch of murmuring sound, a seemingly muffled, cacophonous roar, and then silence again as the wind from the arid region you've been dropped into whistles and howls.
I cast invisibility.
Do you actually cast invisibility?
No, actually,
Okay.
fuck it.
You guys have limited movement right now. That's why I'm pausing a lot. So let me know if you're trying to do something seemingly valued, as we'll kick into. Well, we might have to roll some initiative here. If the boar is aware of your presence and it has seen Gert approach it once, take one set of steps towards it.
And how did it react to that?
It is stamping the ground. It's dipping its head. It's rearing its fangs, snorting violently.
Whoa.
You're holding up your hands to it.
Do it like I
Do
did
I-
with the Tesseract.
Yeah, do I
It's
have
doing the
that
same thing.
baboon's ass still?
No.
I'm sorry. You do everything in your inventory you do have right now, though. So if you check it, you are adorned in a different sort of armor. For some, is more important than others. For example,
I have a
Trodius
guitar.
Yep, you might have an interesting item or two.
Ah.
Grelin pulls out this strange instrument, seemingly tethered to his belt, and is confused and perplexed at its workings, but makes it make a funny noise, like someone was scratching some old iron.
I go
The
invisible.
boar looks at you now, Grelin, stamps on the ground.
I go invisible.
Okay, no problem. We got the official Gert invisibility mark.
Oh my god, that could be that boar could be dangerous. I'm gonna go invisible.
Okay. You go invisible.
I now will approach where Gert left.
Okay, he just sort of just went whoosh and like disappeared away.
And I slither off to the side.
Yeah, no problem.
And then I will look at the boar. I need room for this. I'm gonna look at the boar and I'll say, "Boar, behold the billowing cloak."
Yes. And you make your cloak billow?
Yes.
Yes, and you see Chodius standing 25 feet away from the board, don his cloak in his hand, and from it billows dramatically in the wind, it seems. And he looks mighty as he stands there, ready to face the boar. And the boar stamps the ground and dips its head down. Make a perception check for me. Chodius and Gert.
Perception.
It's on the list of things on the main page. Damn, both good rolls.
We're very
You
perceiving.
see, now that you've stepped a little closer, sort of engaged with this major cloak billow, you see the boar is actually pinned to the ground. And on the other side of with a chain that's on its rear leg and a stake has been driven into the ground. On the other side of the arena is a gate that is now opening. And from where you stand, you just catch the glimpse of these yellow eyes that open in the darkness. And then another set of yellow eyes open in the darkness.
Oh my god. The boar's just its food!
And leaping from the other gate, darting with these crazy amount of speed, you see two ferocious looking creatures with the bodies of lions, these weird spiked bleeding tails, the face of a human, and these shredded remnants of wings on their backs.
Why did Narwhal bring us here? He wants us to have space madness.
And we're all gonna roll initiative now. Woo!
I can never remember where initiative is.
You get there.
I got it.
Damn, there it is.
I rolled a 1.
All right, so I think based on their movement and your movement, they are just outside your range of vision. But they are
Not mine. I see it.
Yeah, you might be able to see them. They have the body of a lion and just like this weird, like a faded mane that's patchy in places, but it like kind of fades into the face. A mix of a human and a tiger, sharp teeth, human eyes, a fleshy missing hole where the nose should be.
Guys, they are freakish.
You hear an invisible voice say, all right, Grellin, you're actually starting up the round here. And then Raximus, you're going to go after all the animals in the arena go.
Sounds good.
I'm just going to walk up a little bit and so I can see what we're dealing with here.
Sure,
yeah, walk
yeah.
right up to its food.
You guys could take a premature step there if you want. Raximus, I'll can drag you in here.
What the
so you can see, just so you get an idea of what they look like.
Oh, what the fuck?
Make sure you get a zoom in for the recording of this. Sorry, Spotify listeners.
What the?
Yes.
That is the scariest looking thing we've
That is
fought.
horrific.
Look at the teeth.
They are horrific looking monstrosities. They seemingly have weird appendages instead of like whiskers on a cat. They have these bony looking spikes that are pierced out from its fur. A horrible combination of creatures. while you're looking, you may also notice that in this arena, that side of the arena is equipped way more than your side is with these broken, spiked palisades. To your left are the remnants of what seems to be broken ships or giant wooden domes. Some rubble to your right. A few corpses line the walls. Who knows if they were pushed to the edge or trying to flee? But they met their fate here.
Is there a cannon over there?
You do see a cannon, yes. Bones around it, but you do see it. It is there.
I know what we must do. Guys, you have to distract the weird-ass beasts. While one of us runs to the cannon. Maybe one of the invisible ones of us.
Grelin, you are up, my man. You get to go first. The boar has also seen these things happen, and it's like it is now sort of tugging on the thing, doing like a screech, like a whine, like very like one like a wild pig screech, trying to get
fast, nimble, and good at hiding.
Okay.
I will distract them. Who's going to the cannon? I want to make sure it's someone responsible who can get me out of this.
Okay, look, I'm invisible. I feel like I could just walk over to it pretty freely. I mean,
Okay, well, since it's my turn first, I'll distract them. I would like to sprint into their
oh my god,
vision.
dude.
Okay,
Whoa.
you
Hey,
can.
say hi to Narwhal for me while you're
Jesus.
How far do you want to run? You have all your movement. If you just, it's not that. There's not a giant arena. You don't.
Maybe
need
I
to,
don't do that because I don't think we even have to do that.
You have normal movement you can use per turn. You have 30 feet of regular movement that you can.
I'm gonna
move.
go behind. Wait, where's the cannon?
You could ignore everything else and just use
You
double
can
movement.
just see it in the range of your vision to the left.
Down to the
there.
southwest.
I would say you guys all moved about I'll say we'll give you the grace period of like 10 feet. So we'll say you all have about 25 or minus 10 feet movement on your turns from where you came from.
I'm gonna hide behind these boxes.
Okay, you run to the boxes, take a hide action. You can roll for stealth if you'd like. That's your intention. Noted.
I am stealthed.
Okay. You're just keeping watch vigilantly for now.
Interesting way to distract. By going
I
stealth.
had a change of.
I will distract them.
Guys,
Change my
I'm gonna
mind.
distract him. Hides.
Dives into amongst the rubble of these broken boxes. All right.
I'll distract them from here. Just wait.
That's what. Do you want to do anything else?
Yes, I want to. Hold on.
Okay, no problem.
I want to throw a soul knife
Yes, you can do that.
at the lions.
They're just far enough so that they're within range. They're just about 60 feet away. So you can roll. You can click.
I would like to do that from a stealth position so they don't know where it came from.
And you do so, yeah. With that stealth check, I would say their perception.
I wonder if they can talk.
I'm going to throw a soul knife at it.
Yeah, go for it. I said you have advantage on that, so that would give you your sneak attack bonus from your cover. So you do so.
Sneak attack.
You can click the. Oh, so you clicked the ability, but what you want to do is click the one that says Dex in parentheses.
Oh, psychic
what I mean?
blades, Dex.
Yes, click next to it, and then hit attack. So roll for your attack. So you prepare one of your psychic blades. You throw it. It leaves your hand. The spectral sharpened blade, however you wish to have it appear, launches towards one of these hideous creatures and have emerged from the opposite side of the arena. 14 to hit. Which one are you aiming for?
The one on the right.
The one below or above?
Below. Or above. Whatever.
Above. The one on top of the other one.
Yes.
Good. Okay. Yeah. So you shoot at it, and right as it's about to pierce, it make contact with its face. It moves one of its arms in front of it, and your psychic blade makes purchase with it, but it hits it in the sort of the torn up wing. So 14 is enough to hit. So roll for
Already
damage.
torn.
Yes, its wings, both of their wings have been shredded. It looks like they just have these weird
So they
fleshy
can't fly
arms that
away.
remain.
To keep him in the
Yes,
pit.
indeed.
We're in some sort of gladiator situation.
What kind of fucked up psycho runs this place? I'm gonna kill whoever runs this place.
I'm gonna befriend whoever runs this.
I think we should murder the psycho running this place.
Roll for damage for me. Click that damage button in the chat.
Me?
Yes, please. Yeah, you rolled for your attack roll, and now you get to do damage. Yeah, so there you go. You do 6 damage of psychic damage.
Whoa.
That's
What
it.
about with my sneak attack bonus?
Yes, so you click damage on your sneak attack as well. Thank you. Reminding me. Huge.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude, that's where the real damage comes
That's
in.
some
I was a
rogue
little
stuff.
sneaky guy.
Just sort of
You are a
dive
sneaky
behind
guy,
cover.
but you never attack.
You dive behind cover right as the boar is like in the middle of its highest pierced shriek, as both of these creatures like turn to focus, taking aim from inside this like pile of boxes. You throw a psychic blade aptly at it, and it pierces harder than the creature thought it would, and it recoils, almost confused as it doesn't leave a wound, but it shakes its head and sort of squints its eyes as it takes psychic damage from your blades. Ooh, 18. Wow. Nice. Okay, Grelin.
Does it
Good
look
job.
hurt after that? Or is it like
You're-
not that much?
It's staggered. You definitely hit it and it's staggered. So enough to do, you definitely chonked it. Your blades do not leave any physical marks, though. They perform psychic damage. So looking at it from a psychic standpoint, it does look a little disheveled.
Okay.
All right. So that will end your turn. And one of the creatures will start running towards the center of the arena. And it will get to about here before it sort of runs up in place, sort of whips its tail in a whipping motion and launches a spike at the shrieking boar. A tail spike.
I just pulled it like in a World of Warcraft dungeon, I'm realizing.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, he shot the thing at it. You may have. You were stealth technically, so keep that in mind. Okay, that definitely hits. Damn. It launches this sickly, bony spike from its tail. As it dislodges, it leaves like a gaping wound from where it left the creature, and it sails through the air quickly like an arrow and lodges itself into the chest of the boar, which only increases the volume of its screeching and its pull on the tether that it is in the ground. A little bit closer now to these creatures, Chodius, Fraximus, the people that have, all of you guys are actually within visual to really get a good glimpse of this thing. Make nature checks for me. Let's say just some nature checks. See if you can remember see what kind of creature this is.
Of course, I rolled really well, and so does Chodius.
That doesn't seem like any
Yes.
earthly
Good.
beast
Seems
to
like
me.
some
Fuel
kind
the
of
RP.
creature.
Fuel the RP. You guys, you
That
don't
is
have to roll, but you can if you want to. For
Is
nature.
that
beast.
intelligence?
Yeah, it is an intelligence check. Yeah, but it's a nature specifically. It's on your list
Oh,
of
nature.
things.
Yeah, nature.
Any of these checks are on that long list of things. Okay, Gert.
You
Hey.
idiots! I know exactly what this is. How could you not?
And it makes sense. The bard is a jack of all trades. It makes sense that he would sort of know before you guys.
Dumbasses.
As it launches the tail spike, it occurs to you, the wings, the face, the tail spike, these are manticores.
Classic.
Hideous
How could I not know?
monstrosities. Yes,
Oh my
but upon
God.
Seeing this, maybe Gert shares this information with you in some form in a brief whisper. If not, you better RP it out, or else minus
It's-
RP points.
It's manic
Anyways.
whores. Oh my god.
Manticores? I thought they
Yeah,
were only things of
manticores.
legend.
The boar recovers from its attack, begins to screech louder. The manticore sees this and swings its tail again and launches another tail spike
What the?
at the boar. It goes far though, lands right in front of your feet, Chodius. You sort of look down, look up, and to see it with one more final tail spike at the boar. Oh my god. Okay, well, rip the manticore. It sort of looks frustrated and stamps the ground a little bit. And that'll be its turn.
Wow, horrible
Which
rolls.
leads us to the boar. The boar just kind of does nothing. Yes, I should begin combat. Here we go. Sort of screeches a little bit, tries to pull on its shackle. It is unable to break free. The second manticore, having just been hit by a strange psychic force, searches amongst the direction in which it came from. Confused and perplexed, it resets its sights on the feast in front of it that its sibling seemingly has started on. Will run up and perform a similar motion, shooting a tail spike. Critically misses. Instead of it firing out, it sort of plops out like an old tooth, lands on the ground. Pus emerges from the wound.
Starting to think we
The
can take
manticore
these
is-
guys.
Instead of attacking, turns and starts to lick its open pussed wound on its tail. And
Starting
Raximus,
to
you're
think
up.
we could
And
totally
Bert,
take them.
you're on deck. My God.
I did 18 damage to one of them. Mental damage, emotional
yell at the
damage.
manticores. I say, you idiot manticores, why would you attack a poor little animal like the pig? The guy who threw the dagger at you is just over there. And
Wow, way to
then-
throw me under the bus, you asshole.
And then-
Your shouting at them has definitely attracted their attention. They're sort of looking at between the boar and you now, the large other seemingly
look-
animal-esque
Did they
creature.
look towards the boxes when I pointed?
No, they're just looking at you because you were shouting.
They don't know English then. Okay, they don't know common.
Yeah. They're foul
You can
beasts.
make an insight check.
All right.
Is an insight check non your action?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Given the narrative RP circumstance, make a free
Thank you.
insight check for me.
Hmm.
It looked like they might have understood your words, and that's kind of what got their attention. But you get the sense that maybe they weren't necessarily pulled by your distraction attempt.
Hmm.
What if they can
does
talk?
Does my false life? Is that like a spell slot?
You can cast that at will, so you could have theoretically cast that when you arrived here. So you can give yourself 10 or 8 temporary HP points right now before we really get into the nitty gritty of things.
Thank you. That's what I was wondering.
Indeed. Thanks for reminding me.
All right, I must protect my poor piggy friend. I'm going to Eldritch Blast the one to the north, the one that's up.
Yeah, above. Got him.
I'm going to
Go ahead.
Eldritch Blast this little guy.
Roll an attack. So actually, at 5th level, you now have 2 beams. So you can have 1 beam shoot, and for 1 attack, you shoot 2 beams with your Eldritch Blast. So you can shoot 2 beams
Does
at 1 creature, or you
Does
can
it
do
do
2
double
different
damage?
beams. Yeah, you roll 2 attack rolls.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm doing that.
Eldritch Blast.
Normal?
Okay, 1 goes far.
I shoot
you're
the
sort of
same. Yeah, it's the same
Thrown
one.
off by
2
your
at
new
1.
form. No problem. Roll damage for the second one.
Of course.
Okay. Woo! Nice. You missed the first one. It sort of goes wide. Actually, it shoots over the heads of the manticore into where the seating would be. But before it connects with the seating, it hits an invisible force. And you see a similar rippling effect appear around you. all around you in a big dome from the tops of where the palisades are built to the tippy top of it. You're seemingly encased in this big magical dome. And as it ripples, you sort of hear that muffled roaring sound again. The second one, you realign and you shoot. This one's too low. You underestimate. And instead of aiming for the manticore, you instead hit the boar as it is struggling to free itself. And in doing so, you connect with its head and its head explodes.
Of course.
With the force damage that you've done, killing the boar instantly.
Whoa.
Raximus the boar killer.
Good job. That is your turn for now.
Nice.
Anything else you want to do, Raximus? Gert, you're on deck.
Yeah, I'm gonna take my free movement and move back 10 feet.
No problem. You see the boar's head explode. The gore sort of splatters around the ground.
Yeah.
Both manticores sort of look up at you, back down at it, assume a defensive, aggressive stance.
Okay.
All right.
Turnover.
Gert, you're up. And Chodis on deck.
Can I scale this cliff next to me?
No problem. You're not being pursued or rushed. It's just takes away an extra 5 feet of movement. So this one square counts as 10 instead of 5.
Okay, so let's say I go up the cliff. That's 10 feet of movement.
That's 10 exactly.
And then I'm gonna run across here
Yeah, you can do that for 40. Get to 40 feet
and get to
pretty much.
40. Okay, yeah, I scramble
Is
across
60
here.
max or 50?
He's doing. I'm assuming he's taking the dash action.
Yeah, I'm taking my dash.
Yeah, otherwise he would only be 30 feet. But I want you to make a
That's 50,
stealth
right? What is the max?
Dash is 60.
Well,
yeah,
it
you
depends
did
on
good.
what
You
your
moved,
movement
you
is.
moved 10, and then you moved 40, and then you moved 10. I took 10 away from you guys for moving in the
Okay.
beginning for the grace
Okay,
period.
all
So
right.
you're right where you need to be.
Okay.
Yeah, as you walk up here, you are sort of above. There's like this rock here in front of you that juts a little bit higher than the rest of them, seemingly taking a higher stance if you wanted to, sort of like a tactical positioning, if you will, for the arena. Some debris around you providing sort of makeshift cover for some dead recipients. Some scattered cannonballs lie around you here and in front of the cannon as well, within reach of aiming it. As you approach, you sort of rack of your memory, like, oh yes, operating a cannon. Yes, how do I do that? You start to think about it to get ready to do it. Make a stealth check for me with advantage.
What? Oh.
I rolled with disadvantage for one of the manticores. As it should have been. I'm glad the dice agree. We're going the right way here. Perfectly stealthed.
I live
Disappears
in invisibility.
out of the campaign. Who's Gert? Suddenly his name is erased from your memories. Okay, excellent. Would you like to do anything else? That was your action. You have anything else? Sounding good? Feeling good? Living
I'm
life?
good.
Phenomenal. Chodius.
Just scurrying.
You. Grellin, you are on deck.
Raximus, you fool! And you were mad at me for killing the man being killed by the snake?
What?
What?
And with that, I enrage over my boar friend being murdered.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
It was an
Okay.
accident, I swear.
And I rush forward 35 feet, my new max ability.
Whoa!
In
have
between both of these
Manticore.
manticores,
Manicores.
veins bulging, heavy breathing, and anger fueling my rage, I strike.
Make an attack
top one.
roll. The top one. That's the one that's already wounded. No problem. Mark off one rage as well.
Huh?
Are using your special axe. So as you summoned it, it appeared in your hand instantly, and it has this really sharp looking blade that glistens in any light that it accepts. And so you're going to make an attack roll with it. And you feel it in your hand, Chodius. You feel it like attached to the palm of your hand, but it looks like you're just holding a regular axe to any.
Okay.
It doesn't appear any different unless you perhaps choose it to, but can explore that another time. Make an attack roll. Huge. Definitely hits.
Whoa.
And then what is versatile?
That would be a different form of damage.
Uh,
That's the 1d6 that you do extra. So go ahead and roll for your. Okay, 11 damage. Nice. And you're
plus
raging,
2.
right? Plus 2. I think it might be more now.
Oh my God.
Plus
More
3.
now?
Check your sheet. I think because you're raging, yeah.
Under rage?
Let me check. Rage.
This man's a freak now.
And do you get double attack now too?
Oh no, it's still 2.
Okay.
He does get double attack. Yeah, still 2.
Still 2. So 13.
Very nice.
Oh my
And
God.
then I attack it again.
Use your second attack. So
Yes.
do another 1d. So hit versatile first.
Okay.
Ooh.
Because this is no
Wait a second. Hold
structure.
on. Oh, sorry. Okay, so
This
that.
is no construct or undead.
No. So sorry. So versatile was what you should have clicked instead of damage. My bad.
Okay.
But I will accept that instead of the 11 that you rolled.
Uh-huh.
So
Plus
it's 14
2.
plus 2, so it's 16.
Yes.
So minus an extra 2 damage.
Mm.
And then I attack again.
Yeah, let's see it.
And I versatile it.
Yep.
Plus 2.
Huge. My God. Giant chunks of damage. How do you strike? How do you do these 2 hits?
So I rush in, and I'm like standing wide, breathing. And I look to the one to the left, and I say, "Not yet." And then I smash the one on it. And then I pull it out, and I give it another one from the side.
Oh.
In quick succession, it happens too. The first impact, like you hear it go into the flesh, and then as soon as it's in, it's already out and on its way back in. And the blade is in tune with your movements, striking exactly and precisely with you. It is weightless, but it is powerful in your arm. And as you pull away from it, it feels as if it's tugging, as if you're leaving. It's sort of ripping and shredding as it's pulling away, almost as it's trying to grab your opponent as it's attacking it at the same time. I'm curious,
Yeah.
as that's that extra 1d6 flavor damage. Yeah, you have left some pretty hideous gaping wounds in this manticore. The second manticore that you said not yet looks at you with its yellow beady eyes, and you hear, "Kill this one." And
My
Grelin, you're up.
turn.
Yep.
Feeling enthused and invigorated by Chodius's brave, forceful
Yes.
attack,
Oh my God.
I ready my 2 blades on my two left arms, and I stand on top of the boxes and perform a mighty side flip. Flipping up into
Holy.
the air, high,
Man.
2 turns, and I come down directly with both my arms into the brain of the foul beast.
Yes.
Decky had already severed.
Are you
Is
using your
what he
psychic blades
hopes
or
is
your other
going to
blade?
happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what I'm envisioning happening. Yes.
Are you using your
I'm
psychic blade? Or the other
No,
dagger,
I'm
the other
using
dagger?
my vicious daggers for this.
Yes, yes,
Unless
you
I
do.
only have 1. Do I have
No,
2
you
of
should
them?
have 2. Yeah, sorry.
Now
But
let's
you can just
find
use
out.
1 and for 2. Yeah, so roll for an
What
attack.
I already
actually
caused the
happened?
beast emotional damage. Now I wish to cause it physical pain as well.
No, go ahead. Yeah, and you are and he's being flanked by Chodius, so you do have advantage. So I'll give you advantage.
Oh,
on the attack,
yes.
which
That's
gives
some
you
combat synergy.
which
What?
gives you your sneak attack bonus as well.
Huge.
Indeed. So go ahead and roll an attack roll with your vicious dagger. Just click to attack. Perfect. So close to the dirty 20, but yeah, that definitely hits the manticore. So go ahead and roll damage.
Do I get critical hit because it's sneak, or do I re-roll on sneak?
No, you connected already, so it's just normal damage for this. Okay, that's the damage from the dagger itself, but then you get to roll your sneak attack damage as well. So you have to pop it back into chat again, probably.
1 second. Okay.
Under features. Perfect. My God. Huge roll on the 6, a 5, and a 6 on that sneak attack damage. My God.
And even though it's
Was
two
it-
daggers, they just form one attack, right?
Exactly right. Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't think you get a second attack yet, necessarily. But yeah. So you fly out from cover,
Like a freak.
performing this barrel roll with immense speed, like a freak of nature. The dagger glistens with incredible sharpness as you fly through the air, landing and sinking it into the manticore. You sort of drag and twist as you catch it off guard, leaving a hideous wound in its abdomen.
While flipping in the air, I'm envisioning as well like a anime style,
Acrobatics check. Acrobatics check.
you know?
Yeah, make it,
The
go ahead and make
background
an
flashing,
acrobatic check
yes.
for me.
Yeah, let's see it.
Still perform
Acrobatics
well
check.
on your turn. Yeah, and you're definitely here now, by the way.
Acrobatics check for how
I
cool
did
of a
just
flip.
fine. I
Oh,
did
it was
this.
very cool.
I did it perfectly.
Wow.
Yeah, it was nice. It was
Wow.
nice.
Beautiful attack.
Gert, you noticed it, even though you were over there. You saw
I
it.
did see it.
Saw the glimmer
I saw
of his flip
just over the edge of
ridge.
the cliff, just
Yes,
him
indeed.
do a cool flip.
Beautiful.
Oh my god.
A single tear comes out of his invisible eye.
He did
Nice,
it.
very good. And now,
Oh my
and
God.
the manticore, as you leave this wound, it does turn and recoil from this. And right as the other one has finished, sort of screeching its hideous common tongue language to kill Chodius. This one now turns to you and looks at Chodius and is sort of confused. It is very staggered looking. It's not looking as spry as the other one. Has these huge gaping wounds on the front of its torso and on its shoulders, and now one from you, Growlin, on its throat. It's looking very, very bloodied. All right, but saying that, it is the manticore's turn now. This manticore facing you, Chodius, is going to make a move. As you finish striking it, and as Growlin lands its blow, it swings with his claw attack. The claw of a tiger with these sharp talons at the end of these strangely thumb-looking appendages with incredible speed flashes in front of your face. 10 to hit.
Try
You-
again.
Flex your muscles and step into the blow as you take the blunt of the damage into the paw, avoiding the scratch from the talon. And as just as quickly as that one happened, the other claw comes out. Dodge, sidestep, swip, no problem. Watch out. As the final move here, it steps forward as a sink. 1, 2, 3. Paw on the ground. Huge gaping maw. 3 rows of teeth as the skin on the side of its mouth cracks open. Lunges at you with a bite attack.
Ah!
As you sidestep the final swipe, the mouth catches you off guard. And you take 11 points of damage.
But I'm enraged, and that's physical.
It's
That's
piercing
half.
damage.
Oh.
I think it's slashing and blood. It might be piercing as well, but confirm for me.
Resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
There it is.
Oh.
You take half, so take 6 instead.
Ow.
The manticore like slash bite, tears away a little less flesh than it thought it was originally, and sort of looks at you almost confused. Disgusting dwarf. It says with flesh mangled in its teeth.
What's your armor class, Chodius?
He's not supposed to tell you that.
You can. I don't care how much you guys want to metagame
Okay.
that information. It's up to you.
Ask him. Ask
I would
him
challenge you to
in
find out
universe.
in RP though. Yes, find out
We'll
in
play his
RP.
armor.
Okay. Chodius, what's your armor class?
I usually don't get hurt if it's a below 14.
I see.
Yes,
All right,
plus
thanks.
1 RP all around. The Manticore is going to, after missing with all of its attacks and not doing as much as it damages the thought, is going to take a step back. It's almost going to like move its fleshy wing appendages as if it was trying to take flight, but really just take a big step back. 1, 2, 3.
Attack!
But, yeah, go ahead and make an attack roll as it does.
Is this your opportunity of attack thing? Because it's moving.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
You just finished landing your your blade still bloodied with the blood of the other enemy. You try to switch targets, but you feel like your arm has a brain of its own, almost like it's distracted. And you go to swing, and there's a tug this time instead of a straightforward force. Almost like it's pulling you towards the more wounded enemy instead.
And I can't do my reroll on the attack thing for
I think it's only
opportunity of
damage
attack.
rolls. No, I think it's only damage attacks.
Okay.
Right, for your
Yeah.
savage attacker.
I believe that is correct.
Okay, so he does step away from you successfully. Yes, he's going to move his full movement there. And then he gazes at you and sort of his tail sort of appears like almost like a trigger position, almost like it's ready to launch at you. After that, the boar would be here, but he's dead. So it's the other Manticore's turn. Feeling wounded and seeing his ally retreat, he is going to make swiping moves against you, Chodius. 1 swipe.
Yeah.
Half as much to take 4 damage. Second swipe. 3 damage. Follows up with a bite attack.
Hit.
3 damage. Scratch, tear at the flesh with the mangled, ugly jaw. A flurry of blows in an instant before you're able to react. But your raging power keeps you strong. All right, Raximus, it is your turn. Gert, you're on deck.
All right. I step up towards the boar.
Okay.
Take half a second to mourn the poor boar's life that I killed. Then I'm going to
Bacon.
cast my
True.
Eldritch Blast.
Eldritch
Blast. The one that it's attacking. It's actually not an Eldritch Blast anymore. What's it called? It upgraded. But anyways, my
It is
Eldritch Blast. Oh, okay. Eldritch Blast at the one that
always
just
Eldritch
barely
Blast.
hit. That just hit Chodius. Please tell me this hits.
Yeah, it does hit. That is enough to hit.
Oh, thank God.
16 is enough to hit. Good. You roll for damage. For your first blast.
I do that damage. And then with my bonus action, because
11. Yeah, good. Yeah,
Yeah,
go ahead.
11.
Well, you get two beams, so you can shoot your
Oh,
other beam at the other
right.
one. So roll
So
another
sorry.
attack. No problem. Say it's all.
Wait, is this one still alive? How does it look?
You hit and sort of like glances off a part of its torso. It staggers more than it's ever staggered from your blasts in the past. Still standing, but looking very beat up.
I want to hit the same
Close
one
to
again.
death's
Then.
door. Okay.
I don't think it hits though.
That one goes a little 2-bit to the right. So it sort of takes the blow from your first one, locks onto you, sees the second one coming, takes a step to the right as it goes and lands into the dirt beside it.
Okay. Well, I hope that my aim isn't as bad with this, and then I'm going to slot to cast Mass Healing Word.
Oh, okay.
Wait, do I have just Healing Word?
You might as a bonus action.
No, it's not bonus. Yeah, I have to do that one. All right.
Yeah, different.
I want to
Okay.
heal Chodius as well
No
as
problem.
try to heal the boar, even though it's already dead.
Brave of you. Noble.
That's totally fine. 5 healing. There it is. Did you use the third? You used second level spell slot, right? Yeah, good.
It only gave me one
You did good.
option. Yeah.
No worries. That's it. Chodius, you heal 5.
it.
I guess the boar.
It's the best I can do.
Oh wait, what's the saving throws? Let me see here. Constitution. Wait a second. Okay, I will roll for the boar's death at saving throw. That was wrong.
We have to know if
He
the
passed
boar
once.
lives.
Okay. God, the boar wakes up. Suddenly, the lodged tusk in its neck is ejected as soon as the flesh heals over. The blood is still thick on its coat, but oh wait, you like obliterated its head as well. So what
Yeah.
happens is the gore around it starts to reform around its skull. The brain funnels back in through the eyes, through the nose like a goop. The skin reattaches, the fur regrows, the talon ejects, and the boar is awakened.
This
5
is an
HP.
affront to God.
And it starts to screech louder than you've heard it before. Ree, ree, ree. It's pulling, like it really tugging on its chain with all of its being.
That boar met
Is that
God.
in your turn?
Thank you.
All right. I think that ends your turn, Raximus. Just make sure.
No, I think I'm pretty happy with myself.
Okay.
I think that's a good turn.
All right, Gert. You're up. And Chodius on deck.
I'm ready.
Your
Sorry.
turn.
I know, just dropped my
No
little
problem.
fidget thing. I dive off this cliff bravely,
Okay.
taking 10 feet of movement to scoop up this cannonball at my feet. I hop off the cliff and I grab up a cannonball in my hand, thinking back to Pirates of the Caribbean 1 that I just finished watching while I was at Narwhal's
The other
base.
Yeah, of
he had
course.
That was the only
Yeah.
DVD he had.
Yeah, so I watched it 3 times on a portable DVD player before falling asleep.
Mhm.
I scoop up the cannonball and I take it and I charge straight. I get another 20 feet, right? 30 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah. Run over to the cannon with it. I assume there's
As
like a
you get
little
to the
gunpowder
cannon-
packet on the ground, or
My man. Go ahead. We're gonna see if you can ascertain how this thing works by looking at it.
I've
I
seen
want
a
you
lot
to
of Pirates of the
roll-
Caribbean. Okay.
Okay. Let
Watch
me have a look
this.
here.
He watched it 3 times.
Watch this roll.
at Narwhal.
Go ahead, make me an insight check as you kind of run
Oh,
up to
yeah.
this thing in the heat of battle and try to figure out if you can sort of just make it work right now, how it's going.
Guys, be amazed.
Not bad, not bad. You are holding the cannonball. You see where it would be loaded. You are you look down the length of it. At the other side, there is a gem embedded into the far side.
my
There
God,
isn't
a
you don't
magic.
see a fuse line or anything like that. It looks like the gems that have been popping up all over the place. The one's embedded in your pods. The one that was sort of pressed in the wall in that one time back in the day. They seem to be reoccurring, and they seem to be being used as a method of a combination between magic and technology,
Yes.
in a sense.
This all makes
You
sense.
get the sense that it would take 2 actions, 1 to load, and then a bonus action to aim, and then an action to fire.
Okay.
So if you want this turn, you could use your action to,
Oh, of
to
course.
load.
I
No problem. You
I take this mighty ball, and with both of
Not
my
that big.
hands,
Pretty small. Actually, to you, yeah, it is pretty big, probably.
Yeah, it's got to be just. I'm imagining the cannon like eye level with me. Just
You've really got to get on your tippy toes. You really
Dirt is
got to
not very
reach.
big. Yeah.
You got to
I-
really. It's hard. Your scrawny arms they tremble as you reach.
It rolls down the cannon.
Ting.
Clunk.
All
I
right.
guess, and my bonus action to aim it.
Yeah, this
What if
turn
they
you can
move,
use your
though?
bonus action to aim. You have another bonus action next turn, technically.
Hmm.
And you are
Uh,
invisible, so they would be.
Could I
making
use
a
my
perception
bonus
roll.
action to like to like get behind it like I'm getting ready to line it up?
Like some free move? Yeah. I'll let you trade your
Just
bonus
like-
action to scoot
like
into
scoot
position.
there. So I'm just like I'm ready to line it
Especially
up.
because that lets me point out that you have to step over a few piles of corpses. You actually had to push a hand that looks like it was like a burnt, charred, like partially disintegrated bone of a corpse that was like attached to it. You had to like push it off of the thing. There's a
Oh
few
my
of them
God.
around here. A few people have seemingly met their end in this location that you've put yourself
fuck.
in.
Oh shit.
It seems perfectly safe, Gert. I don't know what you're worried about.
Let me see. I'm gonna have this go on normal. Okay, yeah. The manticore has not turned to look at you. It's aimed its tail and its body at Chodius, who is enraged at the foot of this rocky jut that comes out of the ground here. Okay,
Cool. That's my turn.
Gert, great turn, phenomenal. Chodius, your turn. Grellin, you're on deck. This manticore right next to you here, Chodius, is looking very mangled, very beat up, sort of limping, sort of trying to keep a brave face on, still angled, but looking like it's on the regress.
And I attack.
Make an attack roll. Huge. That connects.
Huge.
10 damage.
12.
You cleave away a
12.
huge chunk of flesh. True, 12 damage. You cleave a huge chunk of flesh off of its shoulder. It screams in retaliation at you.
Grellin, you finish this one. And then I'm going to move and
Okay.
opportunity of attack.
It does get an opportunity of attack. In its confusion,
I swear.
half-acidly swings at you.
And
I
strike
knew it
the
would-
boar's
I
chain.
Oh, okay. Make an attack roll. Roll damage.
I want to use my reroll.
Isn't that for
I don't know,
damage
you can-
only?
Not for attack rolls. Not
Oh,
yet.
shit.
Roll your damage. Yes. Perfect. The first to fall on the hand of Chodius. You aim for the chain on the ground to free the furry friend. Your morality, your heart in the right place. You are overcome with a dark, hungry sensation as your arm gives ever so slight the tug and instead brings the force down on the boar itself, cleaving deep into its skull, ending its life. Its screech bleeding out immediately.
What the fuck did I come back to?
Your blade then, in a glimpse, in a flash, you see it because you're watching, because it's attached to you. It's your blade. You feel it. A maw appears where the blade is. A mouth opens. A chunk of the boar is taken in this mouth as eyes pop up along the gums, resembling that color of Marslephinus's flesh. And in a flash, it's gone. And it's in back to its axe form on your hands, Chodius. But there's a large chunk where the boar's brain is now seemingly gone, cleaved away, but missing, not adjacently on the ground. You can add 10 temporary hit points to your life total right now if you'd like.
Where's my temporary hit point thing? Or do I just add it?
Left.
On your main page, it's under the 43.
Yeah.
You add it on the left. Yeah, and so if you take damage, you take away from that first. These specific points that you've acquired via this way do not expire.
The
boar's dead again.
Do people realize I didn't mean to kill it?
No, it looks like you went over there and had every intention to slaughter it.
What the fuck?
I needed to have my blade taste blood.
What the fuck?
And then we're gonna move right here, and I'm going to activate my frenzied attack and end my turn.
Okay, no problem. Does it take a bonus action to do the frenzy attack?
Yeah.
Yes, right. Okay, no problem. Ah, yes, very good. Okay, remember when you come out of that, you do gain 1 exhaustion point.
Mhm.
Excellent. And then that means we are up to Grellin. Raxmus, you're going to go after the Manticores go, after Grellin.
Yep.
Grellin, take
Since
it away.
I'm already right next to the beast,
Yeah.
I suppose I will stab it.
Oh,
So
again.
he just finished shouting at you to finish this one off before he ran over there and cleaved the boar almost in
absolutely
half.
destroyed the boar. The one
purpose.
that
Yeah.
he yelled at me for killing. And then I brought it back just for him to murder it.
It's abomination to God.
That's why he's upset you killed it. He wanted to do it.
Hey, strategically, it was a good call, I
Proteus
guess.
tries
You
to
know,
kill
hey.
most living things he encounters. Yes, I will stab the liger
attack?
or whatever it's called.
Yeah, make an attack roll with whatever weapon you choose to use here.
Can I hit it with my yarting? As hard as I possibly can.
Go ahead, make it
Shit, my
roll a
yarking.
d20 for me.
For those who are confused, this
That's
is
his
a
weapon.
southern instrument from
Yes.
Am and Kalimshan.
Indeed.
It is Faroean analog to the guitar. Numerous
Faerunian.
variations have spread across the continent.
Awesome.
Yes.
So Grellin is using a ukulele to beat the shit out of this.
knowledge
So I'm noticing
you
when I
wield
click,
it,
yeah.
is foreign to you, yet familiar. You have heard of Faerun as a far-off land, a distant place where a lot of stories originate from. But the fact that you have this on your possession and knowing that it comes from there does spark a sense of mystery as you rear it over your head to bring it down and try and strike the manticore with, I'm assuming is your intention.
Yes.
Please roll a D20 for me. So type /R space D20.
Yeah, I was noticing there's no
There's no attack, for
attack
it.
option with
I know
Weird.
there's no attack, but I wonder why. Okay. If I added your proficiency modifier, which is 3, and your dexterity, which is 5, that would be 8 plus 6, 14. Is Grellin proficient with the guitar instrument? Does his history yield perchance recovered memories that he would be fluent, used in another life, an instrument such as this? Is that something Grellin's character backstory would include?
He's thinking.
I'm
okay.
thinking.
That's fine.
I'm trying to recall my backstory.
That's okay.
Uh,
if he's the kind of character that would have a hobby such as playing a guitar.
trying to decide.
I'm pretty sure 2 episodes ago you made fun of me for playing literally
so.
a guitar.
Yeah.
So in that
What a
case,
secret. He secretly loves
I
it.
would remove. I mean, hey, I'll accept it. It's up to you.
Yeah, that'd be hilarious.
I used to love it. I
This is
used to
canon,
love playing my yarding until
So
a
there is
very
a reason. You
unfortunate
have to-
yarding accident.
Oh, okay.
And now, as a defense mechanism, when I see anyone playing a stringed instrument, I immediately recoil and berate them about it.
I love that. All right, that's canon. We're gonna lock that in, and yeah, I will allow that roll, and that is exactly enough to meet his armor class. So roll. I don't know. Roll 1d6 of damage with your yarding. Okay. There was a chance. You had a chance. but not quite enough.
Just
You
looks
do
at you
one
with
damage to it
confusion.
as you shatter
one
the
damage
light
is one
wooden
damage.
instrument over its hide. Some of the splinters get into its flesh, and it's irritated about it. The loud noise that it
Itchy.
makes when it breaks definitely gets its attention, as it is struggling to decide whether to target you or Chodius right now. Would you like to do anything else with your turn? I would say that would be your action.
That will be all.
All right, good turn.
Do you have a bonus
Very
action that could do
music.
any damage?
I don't think he has a bonus action attack yet, unfortunately. Okay, the
that's too bad.
Manticore's turn. It is the Manticore's turn now. The healthy-looking Manticore is going to size you up, Chodius, as it has just assumed this position and is going to launch one of its tail spikes at you right now. It sort of brings the tail back and it sort of shoots it out, and a sickening sucking noise is like as it's launched this bony, fleshy appendage at you from a distance. A second one flies. A third one flies. Okay, you take 2 of them hit you, right? Okay. So you take 2 and then 4, so you take 6 damage, 6 piercing damage.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Manticore takes a few more steps back, readjusts itself, sort of looking around it, but confident that it hit you. It's still on a very focused attack stance. Okay, the boar is dead. The second Manticore, seeing its partner just hit you twice, is going to swipe at you, following its pattern. Chodius. First attack. Second attack. Third attack. Damage for the first attack. Damage for the second attack. So 8 damage total. The bite attack was a critical miss. So fails on that one. Completely misses you. That was exactly when Grellin brought the yarding down on its butt, causing it to critically miss in the flavor of the combat scenario. That's what happened. But you do take the 2 swiping damage and the 2 hits from the tail spike, as one of them sort of gets slightly lodged into your chest, but you flick it out, leaving sort of a little hole, but not really deep enough to worry about.
During this flurry of attacks, I yell out, "Sorry, I'm sorry."
You guys get the sense that there's
Chodius.
a deep past connected to Grellin and the stringed instrument, also known as the yarding. Raximus, you're up. Gert, you're on deck.
I move 15 feet. I use my trusty Eldritch Blast, of course.
At this one right here?
At the close one to me.
Oh boy. Make an attack roll. First beam. Zoomf. Goes right between
I do it again.
its wings. The second one does the same thing, but lands in the dirt in front of its feet as it steps back and dodges it.
This guy sucks.
You can only kill a boar.
I heal Chodius. I heal Chodius for 7, even though he's seeing a blood.
Dude. Want to heal the boar again?
Job.
You want to heal the boar again?
I'm not healing that boar again. No.
Bring it back. Bring it back.
Okay, that's canon. Rolling along. Gert, you have just taken position at the cannon. I think you were aiming at the closer one to you, but it did reposition itself, so another aim will have to be enacted.
I duck down behind the cannon to remain concealed. And instead of aiming the cannon, I'm going to do identify. I'm going to touch the
on
cannon. Yeah.
Okay,
So I can understand how to more accurately use this device.
no problem. Expending a arcane resource such as this, you are given sort of tap in to whatever magic was weaved into this device. You get a full understanding, sort of like it's almost like a movie where time slows down and the blueprint sort of like breaks out of it like a holographic image and explodes in front of you, and you can like see all the pieces and like there's like, yeah, exactly, sort of moving through it. you get the sense
It's like
that
Pirates
the
of the
gem,
Caribbean.
the gem is sort of like an activation knob where all you have to do is sort of focus in on the gem while touching it, and it will activate the cannon's firing device, which is just another magically propelled instrument on the inside, and it will shoot the cannon ball with tremendous force. And it does have a pretty crazy range. Shooting at this close is difficult but doable, and it will yield immense damage. But it just takes an action to aim and
Okay.
a bonus action to aim, action to fire. You want me to tell you how much potential damage you can hit?
Yes, please.
8d10 potential bludgeoning damage you have at your disposal. If you connect.
Okay.
Yes.
Dope. Okay, that's my action. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure because I casted Identify, I come out of invisibility, right?
You do. Absolutely. Thanks for
I'd like to
Appreciate
just
it.
try to stay concealed back here,
Okay. Make
Just
you didn't
ducked
yeah,
behind
make
the.
it make go ahead, make a stealth check for me. Okay, fair. Fair, very fair. You sort of, as soon as you, guys come out of visibility, the Manticore sort of looks to your right for just a split second, but then is refocused on
the
the
frenzied
Eldritch
little
blasts
beast in
that come
front
out
of it.
of the
He's like,
out of the. Oh, so you do get
What
the
I
sense.
see?
Sorry if this wasn't clear because you do cast Identify on it. But if you shoot this close, this large of a cannon at these small of targets, it'd be at disadvantage. So you have massive damage in front of you, but this big of a device against these agile and small of targets at this close range would be at disadvantage. Your attack roll, which would be a d20 plus 6 to hit.
Okay.
By the way, okay, great, Gert. That was your turn. Chodius, you're up. This Manticore is looking very rough beside you here.
Let me finish the job that you couldn't, Grellin and Raximus. And I strike.
I healed you.
Make an attack roll. You guys can barely understand Chodius while he's raging. So. Especially because he's
I healed
frenzied
you.
raging right now, which I need to remember because
I
they have
can
advantage
see in
against
his
you.
eyes.
I think you have an advantage on your attack roll, actually. And this still connects. Oh, no, sorry. You don't have advantage, but you're frenzied.
I was going for a Looney Tunes attack.
And look what happened.
11.
Nice. 11 damage. How would you like to finish this Manticore off?
I'm gonna hit him with my axe.
Very good.
Like a
Where
true
at?
barbarian.
The head.
Where at? The head. Right in the
His
center,
human
right between the eyes.
face.
In the face. Like Sidewinder in the face.
Yeah.
As your blade connects with the face of the beast in a flash, again, Chodius, teeth, a maw, eyes pop out. They dig deep, sink deep into the flesh of the Manticore, tearing away a chunk of its body and consuming it into itself, returning to the blade in an instant. But you can add another 10 points there if you want. You feel like a slight, like your axe sort of like, it's like humming now. Humming with energy, matching your rage, your fury. There's a Manticore here in front of you guys is missing a chunk of its face as Chodius pulls away from it, and it dies. Falls to the ground in a crumpled, bloody, messed up state. And Grellin, we're at you at the top of the turn list. Chodius, anything else?
I'm
Movement?
not done.
Yes.
After
See your
I'm
movement?
on, I turn.
Got
And I
spikes
charge
sticking out of
to
your
this
body.
beast.
Go ahead. Runs right up to it.
Your turn. And then I attack.
Yep, with your bonus action. Go ahead.
No, this is the other main attack.
Oh, you didn't attack twice. Yeah, right.
Yep.
Sorry.
He has 2 attacks.
My God.
Oh.
In your sprint, you swing and go a little too short as he steps back to dodge.
And then I use my bonus attack.
Let's see it. Ooh, nice.
Is that versatile or regular?
It is versatile. Big.
19.
Bring it down, and you aim for the head, and as you're about to make contact with its forehead, it moves but not fast enough as you slice a side of its arm.
In my turn.
Nice. Well done. And then we are up to the man. Grellin, you are up. And then it's the Manticores, and then it's Raximus. Trodius just finished off this one in front of you and then sprinted away.
How far can I flip through the air?
Your movement is pretty straightforward, I think, for the most part. 30 feet. Yeah,
If I step on the dead manticore and
You were
use
sort of-
it as the one right in
which-
front of me
You trying to get to the other Manticore?
in the air,
Okay.
a mighty flip leap with my double left arm strike, my patented move.
You're about
As of
5
now.
feet off, but if it's with enough effort and gusto, I would say you might be close enough to make a roll for it.
I will attempt this extravagant
Amazing.
maneuver.
Acrobatics check.
And if I pull it off, I want a Tony Hawk special move noise to go with it.
Right? What is it? Bam! Acrobatics, please.
Fuck.
That was it. That was good. You step on the creature, very squishy, and it moves way more than you thought it was going to. And as you push off, you manage to sort of dive, spin in the air, not necessarily flip, but you roll, catch yourself. Are you trying to get closer to the other Manticore? Where was your intended destination?
Yes, I'm trying to back up Chodius.
Oh, you
I
land.
fall about halfway, right?
No, you land, roll, and now you are right in front of the Manticore. Bam.
Oh, okay.
You made it. Yep. Well, it didn't look that cool, but you're there.
I
Whether or
also
not you
didn't
wanted
get
to be.
to incorporate my strike into the maneuver.
No, you
Right.
had to catch yourself and barrel roll out, but now you can attack if you
I
like.
fell into the dirt. Right.
Yes.
I stand up, go like, oh, a little frazzled, and then I proceed to stab with
Yeah,
my
you're
two left arms.
You're still getting used to those two left arms, so it was a little funny to try and do a flip so fresh off the
Right.
the
I
marsh
had a big head.
spoon.
I had a big head from the last time.
Maybe
It was
if you
so
had,
awesome.
maybe if your arms were balanced, it would have been different. Only time will
Maybe.
tell. But you can make an attack roll if you're going to strike this.
I will use my regular daggers for this.
Roll for attack first.
Oh. Whoops.
Nice. Okay. So yeah, it does strike. So you stand up, dust yourself off just as Chodius pulls away from striking. You thrust the dagger in. You find purchase. You manage to find flesh. Pierce it. 9 damage.
Nice.
There it is. I would say since Chodius is right next to you, you would get flanking damage, so you could activate your sneak attack as well.
I can?
Yeah. As long as you're adjacent to another teammate, or the opponent has one of your teammates adjacent to it,
Hell yeah.
you count as pretty much having a flanking advantage. You don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it. That enemy isn't just passive. Yeah, as long as one of your teammates is within. Nice. It's an extra 8 damage. You twist as you sink it in as it's distracted, not aiming for you. You get to find a better purchase than your original attack. Huge. Any remarks before we move on to the Manticore's turn?
I stand there, realizing the thing is still not dead, and I hope that it hits Chodius instead. Still.
Chodius did leave a pretty gaping wound on it, but as you pull your dagger out, it sort of steps away from where the source of the pain came from. It is going to swipe its claws at Chodius. Still engaged with the
Lucky.
raging, loud barbarian here in front of it. 20 to hit. Take 3 damage. Second claw. Take 4 damage. Bite attack. The first claw barely scratches the surface, but sets you off foot. And the second claw sinks a little further into the weaker part of your flesh, the spongier part. And as it does, you feel a burning sensation as the maw of the manticore is sinking into right on the top of your shoulder.
Uh-oh.
I'm so sorry.
13 damage. It's not crazy, guys. Don't
It's a
worry.
big bite.
But half as much, so whatever, half of 13, 7.
Still
7
impressed
damage.
with that 20 roll.
Hey, 20 is a 20. I'll
That
take it.
was
You guys are
awesome.
rolling like shit tonight. There it is, though. Manticore sees you still standing, I think. Maybe some blood pools from the holes that it left with its teeth, but it is in a aggressive stance nonetheless. Raximus, you're up, and Gert, you are on deck.
All right. I walk up very proud.
Proud.
I
elephant
say,
walk.
I'm Raximus Decimus Meridius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. And then I, of course, just cast Eldritch Blast.
Lore drop.
I hope it misses.
Eldritch Blast. It finds purchase. Do damage.
Whoa!
6 force damage. It explodes against the torso of the
My
manticore.
second attack.
Second one goes far.
You should have stopped after the first.
Okay. You shoot once, it takes the damage, it sees the second one coming, it steps out of the way. Anything else you want to do on your turn?
Is my healing light? It's 0 of 4, but because we had long rest, do I get those back? Because I never.
For what, your ability?
Yeah,
Did you
it's an
rest?
active ability.
I don't have any charges right now for it, technically. Yes.
It doesn't refresh on long rest. Long rest.
Are you talking about your hat, your special hat?
No, the
Move.
healing light and the active ability.
Oh, sorry, your healing light. Yeah, it
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
refreshed. Did
Yeah,
it
I
not
didn't refresh
refresh?
it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it should have refreshed. Yeah, you still have that. Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna use
Absolutely.
2 of those on.
sure.
Is this touch? No, 60
I
feet. I'm gonna use.
don't think so,
I'll use 2 of those on my
Chodius?
boy Chodius. Yeah.
How much healing is it?
How do I do this? 2d6.
I think you just click next to where its name is. Same as an attack. It might pop up in the chat for you.
It does this weird thing. Hold on.
Let me see.
There you go.
Yeah, and then the damage is the healing.
And it's 2d6, right?
If you're doing, you can do 2d6 at once. Yep.
I'm-
That's 1d6. Yeah, that's fine. There you go, 10 points. So he shoots 3 beams. Pew! One hits and explodes and does damage. The second one, he dodges. And the third one shoots, but he's aiming at you, Chodius. As it hits you, you brace, but only feel invigorated as you get healed. 10 points.
Raximus.
It doesn't sound like you
I
said
have
it.
no idea what he's talking about. Yeah, exactly. I can't understand him. He just looks like a rabid dog going crazy.
Gert.
Yeah.
You're up.
I take aim.
Oh, bonus action.
Grab the
Swing.
cannon. God.
You guys see the cannon ding, 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 fall into place dramatically.
I
There's a
line it
small
up
kobold behind it. Lines
I-
it up.
like some
Takes
sort of
aim.
80s Goonies-esque movie. The camera on the front of the cannon as it turns lines up perfectly with my little beady eyes as I shift into frame and line up with my target.
Chills.
I take my hand and I grab the gem. And you said it was like a knob. I mean, I know how to work it, obviously.
Yeah, you're touching it. You feel the power. You're focusing on it. You're ready to shoot. You're taking aim. So you're gonna fire at the manticore.
Yes, I'm gonna fire at the
All right.
manticore.
Roll
And
a
I-
d20 for me.
And
We're gonna add +6 to hit. Yeah, but with disadvantage. You're gonna roll 2 d20s for me. Well, let me see if I can add the cannon. Hold on, real quick.
roll 2d20.
You exist. What does this do?
You just roll d20 like twice.
Or what if I type
might-
2d20?
No, because that would add them together.
No, if it adds them together, that would be bad. Yes.
Okay. I'll wait.
I mean, he could then look at it and then do it. It would be the same thing. Because he could look at the numbers and then.
It's fine. Just copy paste.
I don't have cannon. I don't have
That's
the
fine.
cannon.
You don't need a cannon.
God, I thought I
It's
had
Just
it.
roll it.
Fine.
It's an object.
roll
It should
it.
be
Fine. It's
here.
fine.
Just
Ready?
roll it. Yep.
My rolls, gentlemen. My rolls.
Oh.
I'll make one later.
See you later,
Okay.
my boys. It was nice knowing you.
The second one's
Say
a
hello to
one. Let's
Narwhal
go.
for me.
Let's go,
Grelin,
dude.
I think this is gonna hurt.
Yeah. I was really kind of banking on the cannon working, honestly.
All right, listen up. As you're about to focus on it, you get the urge to say something really clever.
This
What
goose
do you say?
is cooked.
Okay. Your tongue, the words you say, suddenly get like a weird fleshy taste in your mouth, and you get the sound of Marslephinus's maw opening and closing, and then slapping of his gums and his weird fleshy tendrils shoots into your brain as you remember that you have a certain property on your tongue that lets you re-roll rolls.
Oh my god, that is so lucky.
So if you wanted to, you could re-roll.
Oh my god, that's so crazy. Some would even call it luck, I guess.
It's that you have a lucky tongue. You know what I mean? It's like
If the tongue is on your person, you can call on its luck to re-roll any of your rolls.
Mm-hmm.
You must use the second roll. What does that mean?
so you have to roll again with disadvantage, no matter what the second
No matter
roll
what.
is. You have
Okay,
to
well,
take
no
it.
matter what, it's got to be better than
Yeah, sure.
roll 20.
And then one more time. It's a disadvantage.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. Just in case you rolled a 1 again. You know what I mean? Okay. So as you were about to shoot it, your tongue sort of forms these words, and with it, you get the sense to just push it a little bit more to the left, and as you do, you fire, and it whizzes right past Grelin and Chodius's faces, like an inch away, missing completely, but lodging itself after a loud explosion into one of the stonework walls where the tusks are on the other side of it. A huge explosion reverberates in this domed, this magical domed area you are, so loud in fact that the magical barrier that tops the arena warbles, and you can hear the sort of roar, almost like people are muffled behind a cloth curtain, sort of peaks and then gets quiet again. The manticore looks over at you, surprised, a human sort of surprised look on its face, but then back to angry and aggressive.
did I hit him?
You shot the cannon big, but you missed.
My ears ringing, my heart racing. Did
Chodius,
we get him?
you're up. Grelin on deck.
And I attack.
See these attack rolls. You love to see it. You love to see it. Please roll for damage. Oh, actually, no, sorry. Make another attack roll. Make your second attack roll. Now roll for damage on that attack roll. Okay, nice. Now roll for damage again. Grelin, you are going to be taking the 14 damage as the axe swings powerfully, cleaving through part of the neck of the manticore. You deal 11 damage to the manticore as you cleave through its neck, but the power and the speed and the force of your frenzy of rage plus this new weapon enrages you so much that you clean through it and then partially lodge it into Grelin, cleaving through some of his
my
armor,
God.
breaking patches of it off, and piercing some of his flesh.
I think that's 16 damage to him, not 14.
That's true. Thanks for reminding me.
Okay.
And instead of 11 damage, it's 13
13,
damage.
yeah.
Yes.
Perhaps I use my
You can do that.
defensive duelist on.
He rolled
my,
a 27 attack roll. So you could do uncanny dodge and take half as less.
Oh,
half as
that's
much
what I
damage.
meant.
No worries. Perfect. Yeah.
What is defensive duelist again? When you're-
You picked up that feat before. You can essentially use your reaction to add +2 to your armor class. So if you know an
Okay.
attack would just hit you, you can be like, okay, well, I'm going to defensive duel myself.
right.
As long as you're
Okay.
holding a dagger in one of your hands. So for the
Yes,
most part,
I
you're
meant-
doing that.
I meant to use uncanny dodge.
So you take half as much damage. So you saw it coming at the last second, aimed for a very critical part of your stomach, and you sort of move so it doesn't hit as toughly, still leaving you with a small wound. You take 6,
So
or you take
Eight
8 damage. Indeed,
It was 16 total, right?
Correct. Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah. Okay.
And he took 13 damage.
I look at Chodius like.
And then I attack again.
With your bonus action, go ahead. Okay, enough to meet the armor or beat the armor class. Go ahead and roll for damage. Versatile damage, yes. Well, that was a pretty good roll. You can keep that one. That's fine. Oh, you did for versatile. Perfect. Sheesh. Huge chunk of flesh tears
No.
away from the beast as it staggers back. Oh no.
Broke it, Seachum.
Broken, almost broken, not quite as broken as Aqua's toy, but on its way there. That's all
not
you
a
can do this
toy.
turn, right?
No,
It is a toy.
there is something else I can
I
do.
didn't mean toy in a derogatory sense. No
There's
judgment.
something else I can do, and that is I'm going to move 25 feet this direction and get the fuck out of the way of that cannon.
It is going to swing at you when you do that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it staggers pathetically as it tries to engage you, sort of like a wounded kitten. You laugh as you step away. All right. Grellin, you are at the top of the round. This mangled, once terrifying creature now sits deathly wounded at your mercy, sort of looks at you after desperately trying to swipe at Chodius as he ran off.
Does it look at me with like puppy dog eyes, like please no more, or is it like I'm gonna kill you?
Make an insight check.
I can't read emotion.
Puppy dog eyes, man. It's looking at you like, don't kill me. I'll be your friend forever.
I mean,
Up
it
to you
does
if you
look.
choose to believe
it's
that,
a
though.
disgusting looking beast.
It is a monstrosity. Flesh from your friend hangs from its maw.
Right.
He could be a good ally.
Perhaps a pet.
It is extremely wounded. Large portions of its flesh are torn away.
I think I should
Gaping
put it out
wounds.
of its misery.
Smart thinking.
I will take my dagger and surgically, precisely, and calmly insert it into a vital place. I'm not a doctor. Some kind of
Okay. Butthole,
painless mercy place.
not the butthole.
Not the butthole.
Got it. Anywhere but the butthole.
I'm not stabbing its butthole. No, it's
You're stabbing its butthole. Make an attack roll. You pierce the butt of the amazing. Roll for damage. Damn, it has 6 HP left. Huge. So,
and
you
with one
pierce-
final butthole puncture, the beast is dead.
Somehow you knew that was where his vital organs were.
Yes, you somehow knew
The
that's where
heart of the
Manticore's heart
manticore is
was.
in his
Yes,
asshole.
deep in its penis. Little cavity.
Perfect.
You strike down the beast, delivering the final blow as it sort of dies on your blade. Its life leaves its body and it crumbles into a lifeless form on the ground. Suddenly, all around you, the warbling intensifies as you can see the shimmering of this dome at the very top starts to almost like burn away, like a fuse is going off. And as it does, the sound of a large crowd explodes around you as now you can see into the bleachers, people filling them, cheering, shouting, going crazy. People are holding papers, crowding tables around the sides of it. And overall, you hear a super loud, booming, familiar voice.
Better not be that fuck.
Ladies and gentlemen of the arena, we have our champions
I knew
for
it.
this round. Stay tuned for the next one.
I start loading the cannon.
As the voice of Gabo rings your ears.
Where is he? Where is he?
To the south on a platform high up above the bleachers.
I get him.
You can see him south. He stands over the crowd wearing a completely different attire, sort of leather duster with a sort of a makeshift hat. He's using a thaumaturgy spell to propel his voice over the arena. And you can see people are reacting to his shouting, getting excited as he proclaims your victory and tells the crowd to ready themselves for the next match. As you hear the cage adjacent from you start to crack open, and you can see movement amongst the shadows. And we're going to end it here for now.
Oh,
Until next session.
Gobbo.
I'm gonna shoot Gabo. I'm gonna fucking shoot him.
Yes, but we've entered the arena. Gabo's arena.
Gabo's arena.
Exciting times. Good stuff.